Hello and welcome to episode 3 of Outbreak Undead, the strange series ZOMBV. Let's meet our survivors who super certainly are not about to imminently meet their doom. I will go in the order in which you are on my screen here, which may not be the order you are on the Twitch overlay, but I will start with you, Markia.
Hello, I'm Markia McCarty. I am playing Pharaoh Moore. In her before time, she was a IG Live DJ and also just a wild card where she did a whole bunch of everything, and that comes out or doesn't help her in her adventure. Something that we found last game is that today is her birthday, so we'll see how that goes in zombie land. With everything like that. Along with that, she is a scrappy survivor, and I enjoy her a lot as a person. We'll see how this goes.
Really? Michelle?
Wow, super confident we're all gonna make it. My name's Michelle, and I think actually that's not true. One time I had a character die in a long-running RPG I was doing. It was very devastating. Anyway, I'm playing Bean. I'm definitely not gonna die, even though I'm the squishiest and I don't even do anything I can't even fight or anything. I'm the healer. I'm the medic, not the healer. And I'm also a hoarder, and I get yelled at for grabbing bags and empty bags of things and shoving them in my jacket. And I hate kids. I hate kids. I hate them.
I will just say the internet thought one or more of you was going to die in episode 2. So statistically speaking, you've already beat the odds. Like you made it past the halfway point. So it's all bonus from here on out. Like it's all profit. Yeah, you've already wrecked the curve.
Forever.
Yeah, just this one last mission and then retire on a boat, as is your plan. I think we all know how historically that has gone. Luis.
Hey everybody, I'm Luis Carrazzo. I'm playing Nathan Marquez, and Nathan was kind of a bit of a partier pre-apocalypse. Not really the believer of this pandemic thing that broke out. Did odd jobs, some bartending, some furniture moving, but mostly drink, party, 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 live life to its fullest. And is just trying to make it through this thing with everybody else.
All right, and for our survivors, last but certainly not least, May.
Hello there. I am Melee Damage. I'm playing Madison. I think Martell is the last name I decided on for her. If not, then that's all right. It is now. We'll hyphenate it. Now it's both. But she is she's bow girl. She likes to shoot things with little pointy sticks that go flying through the air and into her enemies' domes very swiftly. Usually and hopefully also on fire. So yes, and that is who she is. A little bit of a lone wolf.
Excellent. Now, before we get into our recap from last episode, in which case I will be looking for a volunteer to be recaptain, I just would point out to you again, we are in fact playing Outbreak Undead. Hopefully my backdrop is cooperative. It's being weird to me today for some reason and not rendering things in the place it usually would. Outbreak Undead, which is a zombie horror survival simulation, although the game itself is normally pretty setting agnostic. So one of the things Hunters Entertainment is putting out is the Strange series of books, of which ZOMBV is the first one, which is a specific setting where, although you might think of them as zombies, these creatures are biologically alive and essentially infected with a super version of Ebola, which they're colloquially referred to as ragers by the survivors here. So we are playing a specific setting which is not in and around Burbank, California, and our survivors have not traveled to Van Nuys, California at this point in their journey. Outbreak Undead is a very sophisticated, slightly complex system that I myself have streamlined. Even in the book, there's basically 3 methods of playing. There's the arcade version, where oftentimes it can come down to just one roll of the dice and just let that be that. There's what's called the weekend warrior version, which is still a little more pared down. And then there's simulation, which is expressly intended to try and simulate what you can do in real life. If you haven't seen the previous episodes, that's okay. Welcome aboard. But do know that this game is very much designed to simulate what a person can actually do, and not Jackie Chan. You know, if you're like, I want to run and jump off the roof and swing on the tree and shoot somebody before I hit the ground, it's like, probably not though. Like there's multiple stages in what you just described for things to go wrong. So this is a fairly hardcore, fairly unforgiving game, but that just makes victory all the sweeter when you achieve it. The other thing I would say is it works on a system of called degrees of success and degrees of failure. It's not like a game like D&D where you hit or you don't. You roll and you either strike or you miss. Sometimes DMs might flavor it as, oh, you strike a glancing blow, but mechanically it works or it doesn't. That's not this game. You have up to 5 degrees of success or up to 5 degrees of failure, which are currency for you to spend or to allow me to spend. In the event of your degrees of failure, you should always let me spend them because only good things happen when that happens. But more importantly, this pool of resources is communal. So on a given check, Markia might roll fantastically and May might roll terribly. Markia can spend her successes to try and negate some of May's failures or vice versa. That being said, I'm probably, since this is episode 3, going to start adding in a few more of the complications, but I myself, my style is I try to keep the pace flowing. So if I got pulses raised, I'm not going to slow down to get too terribly crunchy because that's just the way I like to tell the story. But it is a great way of simulating what it would really be like to live in a zombie outbreak. Now, that being said, do we have a volunteer in for bonus points? You can even give a micro summary of episode 1 and episode 2. So, you know, just kind of like, how did you guys get to this point up until now?
I'll try. I'll just jump in and here's a really quick and dirty, I think, summary of episode 1. We had just come back from a scavenger mission, getting fuel for our little settlement in Kupko of about 70-ish people that huddled together in a giant warehouse type retail store, furniture store. And we kicked ass at that. I'm going to flash forward a little bit because in the middle of, while we were feeling pretty happy with ourselves, turns out a couple of the Ragers had broken into our little settlement. An exchange of the guard went awry. They had somehow broken in. We managed to thwart their attack. But Bean had to put down somebody that was clearly infected. So just like what B-Day was saying, this is a pretty unforgiving. It's hard to be a hero in this freaking thing. Although we apparently are regarded as a hero adjacent, because very quickly after we helped thwart the Ragers that had broken in, our boss lady at the Kupko settlement sent us on another mission. We had the option of choosing between 5 different things. We could go down to the subway to see if we can get access to the train system. We can go to the Hollywood Bowl because we heard that there were survivors that were like camped out there. There was a water a situation where we wanted to go recover some potential drinking water for our settlement. Then there was the Van Nuys, I think it was the Van Nuys airport, that there was some planes there that we could have investigated and maybe flown out. And then the last option was to go to Santa Monica to investigate the docks and the ships that were there. But what we opted to do instead was to head to Malibu because we believe that we might have a little bit more success taking some yachts and wealthy folk boats. And on the road to Malibu, anybody want to jump in? The following happened.
That was an excellent summary, I must say, and I had notes, and I was all like, "Oh, yeah, brava! Way to hit all the high notes there." I will just say one. You know what? I won't say anything. I'm going to let you guys finish, and if nobody said the thing I was thinking, I'll insert it at the end. Go for it.
Oh, we got put into like a souped up ambulance basically that was only full of veterinary supplies, but had like a cool window to shoot out of on the top and the side. Went down the highway and I navigated very well, except that this highway had a blockage of some weird dudes blocking it with cow traps and things, and we all rode really well and killed some people and turned around. And then I think we passed by a school, right? It looked like a school with like safe people, but we're just like, we don't need to stop here.
Church?
Maybe a church, yeah. And we're like, we don't need to help these people. They seem totally fine. They're good. And then we ran into the a weird barrier that said, here lives the current president of the United States of America. And then we found just like a bunch of like kids, like a 10-year-old smoking, who was, kind of just they very nonchalant, and we kind of assume this town is run by kids or teens or something, and we're very afraid we're going to go through it.
The only thing I would want to add to that is along our journey, we found out that there's infected that can fly. Horrific.
Yes. Oh, yes. Please, May. Please. I don't want to say anything before you do.
I think that was a bird, I think, that got infected. So we also found out that like animals apparently can be infected by it as well, and that's why it was flying. Which great, because now why do we have walls? And yeah, and we wound up I think at the tail end of that with brake checking a kid off of the roof of our ambulance who had just informed us that he was holding a clicker in his hand to set off the bomb that he just put on the top of my car.
All true. Excellent summary. Yes, you all had seen it was a California condor that had been infected, but had gotten like physically larger. It was like very massively muscled, although it only got so close because due to some excellent shooting from Pharaoh, you kind of blew its head off at range. But this was your first verification that yes, animals can in fact be infected. And yes, Madison is also correct. You all had pulled up to the wall of this place, and while trying to decide how to proceed, something was on the roof. Madison very astutely said to brake check it. Nathan gunned it, threw the person off, who rolled down the hood into the ground and stood up. You all asked who he was. His response was, I'm the one holding the detonator to the bomb I just put on the roof. Get out of the fucking ambulance. And that is where we will take back up right now. This kid looks scruffy and lean, 16, maybe 17. But he is looking at you with intensity in his eyes, but a broad smile across his face. Holding up this device. Oh yeah, you all are in the ambulance still. Yeah, exactly. You hit the brakes. He tumbled off. He's kind of standing in front of you, holding this thing. Essentially, I'd say you're about a half of a block away from this giant, like corrugated metal structure.
I say under my breath to Nathan, only I get to blow up this fan. Damn it. All right, what are we going to do, guys?
I think we need to do what he says, otherwise we're toast. And I'm going to turn it off and put my hands up so he knows that I'm complying.
You see, when you do that, he just sort of nods a little bit, and like he's very much like holding the device here with one hand, and he sort of motions with another hand. And you see, so along, you all are on a residential street here with this like metal blockade in the middle, which you might recall was essentially built on the edges of two houses where the front door would open inside the wall. That makes sense. Like it's built into two houses from across the street here and goes up about 20 feet high. From two of the houses that are on the outside, the doors open and you see four kids come out. Again, they maybe 16, maybe 18. It's hard to tell. They're kind of in baggy clothes and, they're a little lean because everybody's lean 6 months into the apocalypse. And one of them on each side has a pistol. The rest of them have like bats and crowbars and like improvised weapons and are slowly approaching the van from both sides.
Can I do a detect motive on this kid with
Mhm.
the detonator to see if how sure he is that he's got us?
Yeah, roll it. Again, for you all, a reminder: this is a low number game. You want to get under your skills. A critical success in this game is rolling a 1.
Yeah, I got a 88 out of 31%.
There's no way there's a bomb on the roof of this van, Pharaoh. There's just no way. Like there wasn't long enough. Like just no, this kid's bullshitting you. Like
I
it's
don't
not
believe
possible.
he had time. I don't believe he had time to put it up there. I mean, how long could he have possibly been up there?
Well, I guess if you really want to check, you can climb up to the roof and check yourself. I don't know. I don't want to die. They're just kids. What could they? What could they possibly do? I hate
Ask
kids.
them what they want. I mean, you're kind of almost their age, aren't you, Bean? I don't know.
Why
How
does
old
nobody
are
know
you?
how old I am? Okay, all right. I want to get out of the van too. Unless Farrah, you want to do anything else before I exit?
Now, Pharaoh is basically like, yeah, no, she's basically like, there's just no way we can't surrender to kids.
Let's just see what they want. And I have a hand on the bat that's like I put right next to my seat.
So to paint a picture again of what the van is like. Remember, it is essentially an ambulance. There is a rack on top where you could load it up with cargo or some sort. Essentially, a flip skylight has been added where you can kind of throw it open and a gunner could come out the top of it there. Madison has tied a rope to it where you can kind of secure it to yourself, and it's almost like a little bit of a turtle shell while you're up there shooting. The passenger side of the windshield is covered in metal. So it is basically armored on the front, and both passenger windows are armored. There's like a slide for the passenger side where you can kind of see out of it, and you could kind of not quite effectively poke a gun out. It's very much more for cover fire and protecting the passenger than actual combat. On the driver's side, is also armored, but the opening where the driver can see is a little wider because you might not have the luxury of pulling the slide. So you've got some cover, but there's definitely more cover on the passenger side. The back of the van is a similar thing. There's sort of metal plates over the window. So you've got some defenses, but it would be a stretch to call it bulletproof. But you've got some protection. Also, I think we established you had like at least a bit of a cattle ram on the front of it, so you might be able to like push through some limited obstacles without mashing it in. But I mean, this is by no means a Brinks armored car or anything. It's kind of an ambulance that has been patched up with what was available.
All right.
Okay, let's go talk to some
Yep.
really scary kids. They could just be so mean.
Just see what they want.
Okay.
Everyone needs help these days anyway.
I guess we slowly exit from the back of the van. Just kind of creaked it open. Hey. Hi.
And then Pharaoh like kind of grabs Bean's shoulder and is like, don't antagonize them, please.
Trying to be cool. I'm trying to be cool, Pharaoh. You try to be cool. You try to be cool.
I'm saying I know you are about kids.
I will say Madison is thinking intently. Is Madison gonna do something before they go back there to open the door? I see your face looking at your character sheet there, so I just want to make sure before they open the door.
Yeah. She's gonna lean into Bean and say, come up with like a code word or something like, if you see something that means that you're in danger and one of us need to come out, like tell them we have canned spinach or something like that. Just something that's like a code word that like we know that we need to rush out and help you, or like hit the gas and drive by, or like whatever we need to do to spring into action. So canned spinach.
Canned spinach.
Yep.
All right.
Do we have canned spinach?
No.
Oh. Okay. Well,
we can look for it though.
Bean's very disappointed.
You kind of hear a pum 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 like somebody slapping on the back door.
We're coming. We're just organizing our can't. Never mind. Okay. Open the door. Hi.
As you open it, by now the two kids with the handguns have stayed near the passenger side, which you can kind of see them through the slits. Around the back, being now that you've got a better look at them, they have things like bats, fire axes. One of them's got kind of a 2x4 that has been crudely carved into a point with a nail on the other side of it. I mean, they're improvised weapons, but you still wouldn't want to get hit by it, though. And you see one of them pulls a hood back and reveals that it's a young girl, maybe 16. Same thing. She's kind of filthy, and her face is a little gaunt. And she's like, "All right, get out now."
We're doing that just for slow because you're a little intimidating, and we come in peace. We're just trying to get through.
You see, those of you that are in the front can still see the kid with the detonators in the front, and he's all like, "Oh, is this a diplomatic mission? You coming one at a time?" I said, "Everybody out of the ambulance."
Okay, we're very old and slow. We're not like all sprightly and youthful like you y'all. I'm sorry. I'm immediately cowed by these children.
Right. They think we're stupid, you guys. They're stalling. They think we're stupid.
Out,
yeah.
slip them in the inside pocket of my jacket.
You slip what in your inside pocket? Sorry.
The keys to the vehicle.
Okay.
Inside pocket.
Okay.
And
do you open the driver's side door?
I'm gonna open the driver's side door, and I'm gonna carry the bat out, and I'm just gonna step out, and I'm gonna look at the kid with the detonator, and tell him, "We're not here to cause trouble. What is it that you want?"
When you step out, the kid holding the handgun near you jumps back and very much points it at you, nervous. And the kid with the detonator goes, hey, trigger control. Be cool, breathe, finger off the trigger, point it towards the ground. Don't." And he very much raises his voice and says, "Don't let the muzzle cover anything you're not willing to destroy." Don't get me wrong, man. We're super fucking willing to destroy you. Just at this exact second, we're talking.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. He looks in, he's like, "All right, that's 2 of 4. You two in there. Braids, Blondie, come on out."
You grab anything you need to protect yourself?
I have my I need to call it something other than a selfie stick at this point, but I have my selfie stick and concealed in a long cargo pant pocket on my thigh. I got my guns, but are they going to let us keep that?
I guess we'll find out. And I'll kind of sling, my bow around my back, and I'll open the door out of the way for Pharaoh.
And you two are going to come out of the passenger side. So if I'm correct, Madison and Pharaoh are on one side of the ambulance. Nathan's on the other side. Bean is in the back. Correct?
Cool, by myself, yes.
Mm-hmm.
We do not make a plan.
As you get out, you see he very much kind of like, he takes a step back from the ambulance, and you can tell he's very clearly trying to like keep all of you in his peripheral, And he's like, "So, thank you all for being so cooperative. What are you all out doing this fine afternoon? Just out for a fucking Sunday stroll or whatever day it is? I don't even know what day it is anymore."
We're just passing through. We're trying to, do a supply run and get to the west coast, they say. And we couldn't find a way around your structure, so we decided to try to go through and see if that'd be cool to do. Can I detect motive at this point?
You absolutely can. Any of you can. I will say, Pharaoh, you're going to run through your mind like, this is a sucker play.
Like they got us,
Yeah.
and like this is ridiculous. He's got like a cardboard box in his hand. I don't know.
Yes,
Madison speaks up and says, "We're also trying to pass along some useful information that we've found out along the way that we think would be valuable to people with walls. Apparently birds can get infected, we've noticed too. So while we're going through running for supplies, we're just trying to make sure everybody's well aware kind of like a public service. I mean, there's still somewhat of a public left, so no reason why we shouldn't share helpful information to keep you guys alive. Because the longer you're alive and healthy, the less of the ragers we have to deal with. So it's in everyone's best benefit that you guys know.
You see
Yeah,
his eyes.
it's us against them.
He looks at you and his eyes just kind of narrow, and he snaps his fingers. And two of the kids in the back that had the ones with crowbars move past you, Bean, and start trying to go inside the ambulance. Or at least they very much come towards you like they're going to enter the ambulance.
I rolled an 84 out of 60 on detective motives, so I don't know what the hell they're doing, I guess.
They're gonna kill and eat you, Bean. This is like no, yeah, like
F.
clearly they're cannibals. You read Lord of the Flies, you know how this goes. Children cannot be trusted.
Oh no, thank you. I complied, and I get on the ground and I just kind of roll horizontally away from the van.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Important point of clarification. Do you roll roughly towards the passenger side or roughly towards the driver's side?
Oh Lord in heaven. I roll. I'm right-handed. I roll to my right in a crisis, so that would be facing out to the driver's side.
Okay, Nathan, you very much see she like complete submissive display rolls on the ground as you kind of hear the thump 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 of people going on board the ambulance.
How many kids are around now? Like half a dozen?
About 7 total. There's him, and then 3 came from each side. One gun. One on each side had a gun. 2 on each side had improvised weapons.
All right. So I see Bean kind of roll this way. Look, we're here to give you guys some information to pass through because we're scouting the area, but we're also here. Clearly, you need some help. I point out the scrawny kids. You can take a look at what we have here, but I guarantee none of you know how to use it. The one that knows how to use the stuff that we have is this one rolling around on the ground, who's part of the reason why we're here. Who of you needs medical attention? Because we're here to help you.
Hey, they got snacks. They have Fritos in here. And you see when they say that, he sort of holds his hand up and he's like, "You're like a doctor?"
Not me.
Are you talking to me?
Yeah,
Someone talking to me?
He's talking to Bean. Yeah.
Is someone talking to me? Aren't you gonna kill me now?
I mean, that remains to be seen. Say something medical.
There's 175 bones in your hands. And you have the most bones in your hands than anywhere else in your body, and the human head weighs 8 pounds.
Pharaoh steps forward a little bit, and goes, yeah. So I'm Pharaoh. Your name is. What can we call you? We have to call you something. I can't just call you the kid or the top kid in my mind.
Hey, they call me Hat Trick.
Hat Trick?
Hat Trick.
Yeah, Hat Trick.
All right. Yeah, no, I get that. I understand the reference too.
I mean, your name's Pharaoh. Well, we're doing code names, right?
So, yeah, a number of things, like everything that we've said. We're here for information. We're here for this one right here is one of the best medical doctors that you could hope to run into right now. And honestly, even in wartime, I'm sure y'all learned about this, before this whole infection thing. You don't strip the medics of their supplies. Because if someone did that before you, then we wouldn't have enough for you. So just saying right now, everything that's in there, including those snacks that they just yelled about, those are to help you and help other people. Because it's us versus them.
You're like, I'd rather die than give up the snacks.
Bean whimpers, those are mine.
Give me a persuasion roll. While Pharaoh is trying to talk, and Bean is trying not to be consumed, what are Nathan and Madison doing?
I'm actually approaching with Pharaoh and ready to kind of back up Pharaoh's diplomacy, but letting Pharaoh take the lead.
Also, remember, hello, Alex Ward in the Bone Army. Thank you for joining us. Now I have to do something extra terrible because I gotta show out in front of company. Do remember that you also have your 2 competency points. That at any point in the game you have two successes that you can use at a dramatically appropriate moment. How'd you do over there, Pharaoh?
I got a 10% out of 31% for persuasion.
All right, so that is two degrees of success. You see, he sort of like looks at you for a second, and then he looks back at you, Bean, and then you see he looks down at his hand, and he kind of just takes a step back, and he's like, "None of you fucking move." Tell him we got a doctor down here. What? A doctor? What?
We got a doctor.
And then you're like, oh, and you see this like young kid like puts the cigarette out and like disappears kind of in a gap in the corrugated metal there. It sort of like shimmies through. And he says, the kid looks down, Hattrick does, and he says, all right, here's how this is gonna go. I'm gonna bring you in. You can both hold on to one weapon, but I'm holding on to this. Anything weird, no more ambulance. Nobody's happy. Got it?
All right.
May I go get my bag of medical supplies and personal things in the truck, please? I did not bring anything out here.
Bean, you very much hear the kids ransacking the snacks. You hear the crinkle of the plastic bags of them like.
I shake my fist to the sky.
He's like, and he points at kind of around at the back at the young girl. He's like, Vine, go in there with her. Keep an eye on things. And she's like, yes, sir. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Pharaoh, sorry. Pharaoh's gonna grab the USB solar charger that her moms gave her, and is going to leave the pistol behind and take the long range gun. She's still going to try to conceal the selfie stick in her cargo pocket.
Are you going to attempt to hide the pistol on board the ambulance, or are you just kind of like laying it on the dashboard type thing?
Glove compartment.
Okay.
You know, but I'm not hiding it. It's just they said one weapon, so I'm gonna take the long gun.
See,
I'm sorry. Switch that. Leaving the long gun, taking the pistol because I've got better stats on the pistol.
Got it. As you sort of prop it down, you see one of the kids looks at it and his eyes widen, and Hattrick kind of raises his voice and he goes, hey, not yet. We got to take him to the president. Just be cool. Yeah. And he looks at you and he's like, I mean, you're doing the baseball bat. We have an infectious zombie pandemic, and that's I mean, don't get me wrong, like we're doing crowbars and fire axes, but because we have to.
Mm-hmm. Right. And your point?
I mean, hey, you've made it this far, man.
Maybe someone needs to teach you how to use that better. I'm also going to I also take my shield out. I go back in the car. I got something else for you too. Because this kid is so scrawny, I doubt he can pick this thing up on his own. I pull out the shield and I wave.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a repurposed car door. It is by no means light, you know. And he see his eyes just sort of widen, and he's like, car door. Hadn't thought about that. We did some stuff with some hoods. How about you, Barbie? You just doing the crossbow thing?
Yeah, that's all I need.
All right. Okay. And you hear what you can see he's very much like running things through his mind. And a second later, the kid kind of inches out between the corrugated metal and is like, bring him in. And he just says, all right, You three with us, you three watch this thing. And hey, don't steal from them until we get back, all right? And save me some cookies. And he motions for you all to walk ahead of him towards the large metal structure.
All right.
Again, for those of you just joining us, our survivors had a bomb planted on the roof of their ambulance, their combat ambulance, just outside the walls of a large corrugated sheet metal structure that is blocking the road that they had to get through to go to their destination. And yes, he motions for you to move forward.
I do.
As you all are walking, all of you give me a spot listen. Again, in this system, low numbers is what we want.
That's a 63 out of 43. It's a fail.
Thank you, Dyson Everything Nice, also for joining us. Hello, playing Outbreak Undead and the Strain series ZOMBV. So how many degrees of failure is that being?
Is it by tens? I don't actually know how that works.
Yeah, it is by tens. Mm-hmm. So, well, what is your stat and what did you get?
60 out of 43. So
no, 53. So that is 1 degree of failure, basically. As you go in there, Bean, and you are gathering your things, and these monstrous children are absolutely like stuffing their pockets with snacks.
Do they let me get all my stuff that I want or no?
Well, what is the stuff you get? Because the girl that he referred to as Vine is watching you, but she's not like stopping you. She's just watching what you're doing.
I want my backpack that still has the medical supplies in it, I believe. I didn't take any of them out. I want my drawer of wrappers that I had put away, particularly. So I started taking those. The stuff that's in my bag is our medical supplies, and a taser is my only weapon that I have equipped, I believe. Do I still have snacks? Yeah, I've got snacks in my bag. Oh, I checked my bag. Did they take my snacks already?
Whatever you had in the bag, they have not taken. They just, because you all kind of had like a communal where they just stocked it for you with like water and snacks. That's what they've gone after.
Snacks are very important. Okay, I check my bag. I'm stoked. I close it. I look at the girl. You said she's very like gaunt looking.
Yeah, she's kind of like, yeah. Mm-hmm.
She's like sad.
Clearly hasn't had much to eat.
Like a child from a Charles Dickens novel.
She looks more like resolute than anything. Like she's prepared to hit you with this crowbar, but she is very like hasn't eaten. Mm-hmm.
I'm still afraid of the children. Hey, Vine, are you gonna hit me with that, or why do you have it? Why are you holding it like that? Are you gonna hit me?
Do I need to?
Why would you? I don't know. I just I don't like it. I don't like any of this.
You are really weird. Why do you have pockets full of like plastic wrappers? What's that about?
Well,
wait, did you figure out like some way to like make acid or like Molly or something? Like what? Did you figure out how to make acid?
Yeah, I did. Adults know things, kid. I'll teach you one day. Let's go. This is very uncomfortable for me.
How did you guys come out on that spot listen?
I got 27 out of, I think, 70.
Let me see.
Wow.
It's either 70 or 40. My eyes don't work right.
For you, your spot listen is 59. Remember, this is the Outbreak level 2 version of the sheet you want.
Wrong sheet. Okay.
It should be book page 223. I don't know what that's going to be in the PDF, but this is the mid-level version of him. But either way, that's still good. You said you rolled what?
I looked at the bow number and it was the same, and I assumed it was the same sheet. 27.
So that is 37, 47, 50. That's 3 degrees of success that you have so far. All right, Nathan.
38 out of 39. So not
that is basically a push. Mm-hmm. And Pharaoh?
I got 14 out of 59.
So 24, 34, 44, 54. So 4 degrees of success. Okay. Madison and Pharaoh, as you all are kind of like trying to check this place out, listening to see if there's how many of these kids there might be, things like that. Nathan, you're still kind of like sizing up, like, all right, if we go through here, if this goes wrong, I could probably hit him in the arm, probably get him to drop it. Like you're sort of sizing up hat trick still. You all swear off in the distance, you hear but off in the distance, down the opposite direction down the street. Arr, 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 arr.
Yeah, Pharaoh definitely leans over to Madison and is like, just mouths ragers.
What do we do anything? Should we warn them, or should we try and find an escape plan?
I think we should try to find an escape plan. I don't know what these kids are up to. I normally like kids, but this is excessive.
A little bit.
Is you all sort of walk towards the metal, the sheet metal. As you get close, you can see now that it's made out of all sorts of things. Once you get close to it, there's hoods of cars, there's like shed roofs, there's like basically anything metal they could kind of like wedge and interlock and go up high. And now that you get close to it, it looks very monolithic as you're driving up to it. But up here, it's very like kind of wobbly. Despite the apocalypse, this is still earthquake country. And you're like, this is probably something you should not be like up in the recesses of and shimmying through cracks of. But as yet, you see multiple pairs of little eyes looking down at you as you come in. And as you approach, midway right in the middle, you see one of the pieces of sheet metal just kind of slide to the side that you think was probably maybe the hood of a pickup truck that puts an opening of about 5 feet high. You definitely have to duck to get into it.
Are we going in there? That hole?
Look, I mean, I ask Hattrick, you want us to go in there?
Yeah.
That's where the president is?
Yeah.
All right. I guess
Did
that's
any
where
of
we're
y'all
going.
see Mad Max Fury Road before everything fell down?
Who's that?
Pharaoh's just like talking to the kids.
Oh.
I don't like old movies.
Ugh. Pharaoh takes that hit and then goes into the tunnel.
It's like 2 years old, no? It's like 3?
It's not a tunnel as such. You basically kind of just have to like duck under. I mean, you realize the walls got some depth to it. Like it is not just tall and skinny, but I mean, you kind of have to just stoop for about 2 or 3 feet, and then you can kind of come out on the other side of it.
Madison waits for at least one of those kids to walk through before she does.
They do. The kids kind of go in like interspersed with you, but Hattrick definitely stays outside. And he goes, "Hey, Barbie, I'm on to you. Take a look back there."
I look.
And when he points, on the roof of the van is something. It's got a flashing light. I mean, like there's something on the roof of it. It doesn't look like a Wile E. Coyote bomb of like dynamite and wires, you know, but something electronic is on the roof of the ambulance.
I look at him and I wait for the other kids to like go in, and everybody goes in, and I get closer to him and I go, "It's impressive. You actually got the lights to work on it. Did you learn how to do that?"
My dad was an electrician. And I promise you, it definitely will light up when I want it to. Okay? And he's like, "After you, ladies first."
And I just kind of go, "Solid work." And I duck in.
After you all get in, you kind of hear like, and when you look, it's like there's some kind of just markings in the ground. Like there's not a track or anything. I mean, like physically, they just basically drag this piece of metal back into place and kind of wedge it where it wouldn't easily get pushed in. And as you turn around, you all see it's completely different on the other side. On the one side of the street, it was kind of like an oddly idyllic suburban neighborhood still. It was not very active, of course, but it's like the windows weren't busted out, the houses hadn't been burned like so many places you guys have seen when you go ranging. But here on the other side of it, it is bustling. There may be hundreds of people in here. When you see the second half of the street, where the houses, the doors are all open, the windows are all open. There's clotheslines stretched across the street. You can smell the faint smell of some odd meat burning that you're not sure what it is. Madison, you spent a lot of time in the woods. That is squirrel. The rest of you don't know.
I lean into Pharaoh as soon as I see that there's like a ton of people here, and I just go, shit, we're gonna have to tell them.
If we don't tell them, then when they do get here, it'll be a bigger problem than just the Ragers themselves.
Yeah.
But I still think that we should hold it as a bargaining chip. We need to see whatever their leader has to say.
I'm curious to see who the hell their leader is.
Is you all
Hey, as long as it's not a Morton Joe.
It's true. Mediocre. As you all, as you can see, basically the second half of this street, there's these rows of houses here. There is a large cul-de-sac that probably at one time was very nice. You can see there's a lot of impromptu tents and shacks have been set up there out in the open. And you see a sign that is standing on the other side of the cul-de-sac that once said LA City College, but has been spray painted to just say Logville.
Huh.
Hey, hey, hat person. Wait,
Head trick. I mean, it's a soccer term. Like I realize you're all like retro, but it's been a word for like football. If you're gonna be a hipster about it, like it's. Never mind. Yes,
I'm a non-sports person, so I mean I don't know how many things you know about bones.
I mean, I saw how you rolled on the ground. That is because you are not a sports person. What is your name?
It's Bean.
Bean Pharaoh. Like, why are you giving me shit for our code names? Like, what?
No, I couldn't remember your name. I'm bad with names. I'm bad with sports, and I'm bad with all people. So I mean, I'm kind of laying it out for you here, bud. I was gonna ask why it's called Logtown. Do you guys have a lot of wood happening, or what is that about?
Logville.
Oh yeah, I'm a little dyslexic, so I can't remember.
It's LA County, and it's slang. It just caught on. Come on. And as you're walking, you notice like people are stopping what they're doing to look at you, and it's not just most of the children seem like they're about now that you see it, they probably are all around college age-ish, more or less. They seem like mostly teenagers. You do catch the odd older person walking by, but for the most part, it looks like the population of a college campus. However, all of you give me another spot listen here.
I have 1 degree of success.
All right.
Oh boy. I got a 64 out of 39.
And
so
it's tough to take it all, Nathan. You're trying to track every single person. You're like, who's good? All right, they've all got guns, knives. Like it's too many data points to keep track of. Pharaoh?
I got a 78 out of 59. So that's 2 degrees of failure.
You wanted to go to LA City College at one point, Pharaoh. Like you might have even done like a semester back in the day. It's like, oh, did you just driving through here? You'd completely just lost track of where you were, really. And you're like, Madison.
Had it super close, 52 out of 59.
So same thing. That is a push. I will say, Bean, you were the only one that notices this. A lot of them have sports ball jerseys on. Like a lot of them, like more than should, proportionally speaking. You don't necessarily know the difference. I mean, I will say you loosely are aware of the difference between a basketball jersey and a football jersey simply because one's a tank, but a lot of them are wearing sports ball clothes.
Y'all love sports, huh? Love team sports? Do you like individual sports? Like, do you like ice skating, sort of like the individual competition, or is it more like basketball? I'm talking a hat trick, or.
As you all are walking, he's like, well, survival's pretty individual. We're coming to find. If you must know, when all the shit hit the fan, there was a tournament that weekend, and we had football teams from all over the country were here. So when it came time to fight, we sort of had a lot of young, strong guys around, which unfortunately very quickly meant we had a lot of young, strong zombies around, but we kind of held them off. And then we sort of like pushed out a little bit, kind of annexed a couple streets in each direction and just sort of holed up in here. And,
Oh.
you know,
That's pretty sad, I guess. I mean, we all have sad stories. I mean, mine was pretty normal actually, but that's too bad about your sports. But at least you have a lot of people here. That's pretty cool. You managed to have this many people inside one place. That's wild to me. I think that shows that community, you survive together and not apart. It's like the opposite of what you said.
I guess. And you hear Vine leans over and whispers to him, "She can make acid." And he looks at you and goes, "Word?
What word?
I mean, we figured out how to grow a little weed, but, you know, nothing else. Like, don't get me wrong. Some kids tried some shit in the chemistry department, nearly blew us all to high hell. After that, we sort of shut down. The opioid epidemic hasn't reached us here, I suppose.
And it's never going to, because I'm a doctor.
I guess it is never going to. He says as you guys are still walking through there, and he stops and he whistles, and you see another kid comes running up who is gigantic. Nathan, we've established you're a pretty sporty guy. As this kid runs up, he's probably a defensive end. He's even though he's lost weight along with everybody, he's still broad chested and barreled, you know, comes over and he looks at him, he goes, "Hey Tigger," and he hands him that. And he says, "If you see any of them running this direction or guns going off and I'm not there, hit that big red button. Actually, turn that switch, hit that button." He goes, "Turn the switch, hit the button. If I see them running, turn the switch, hit the button." He's like, "Running without me." He's like, "If I see you running, turn the switch, hit the button." He's like, Tigger, buddy. We're running a play here. It's important, okay?" And he goes, "Oh, okay, I got it. No problem. I'll be right here watching. If I see them running without you, turn the switch, hit the button. Got it."
Oh no.
And you see he does turn and just sort of like jogs away. And Hat Trick looks at you and he's like, "You guys seem very nice and all, but everybody starts off nice. You know how it is."
What do you mean, everybody? How many other people have you encountered?
He motions back at the wall and he's like, "Way more hoods than cars, right?"
Huh. I get it.
And he's like, "Look, we're not out here like eating people or any crazy shit like that. We're just trying to make it through, all right? And if you're really a doctor and you really can't help us, we need that. We need that."
That's what we're here for. We're not here to cause trouble, just what we said earlier. If you need help and you're okay people, then we'll do what we can.
But I'm not making meth.
Vine looks at you for a second and then she looks like visibly disappointed. She just goes, "I always want to try meth." No. And then he motions for you guys to keep walking. And as people are sort of like coming in and out, and again, you started like take it in, like there's a couple of like kiddie pools that have been filled up, and you see like a couple of people are lounging in them because it is the summertime still. You see as you're walking through, you don't really see any animals or pets or anything like that, but you definitely see where people have like dried out squirrel skins that are kind of hanging on the side of things. And on this side of the wall, every single door to every single house is open. You see people kind of coming and going through all of them. But then there's like sleeping bags kind of lined up on the sides of houses, little tents and everything. And as you get kind of past through this bizarre area, you see where people have, one person still got college textbooks just stacked up there. Another person has made like beads and things. Somebody's like fashioned bows and arrows. And you hear people just sort of bartering and trading as you all walk by.
How many
Madison
people are
would like
here?
to look at the quality of the bows and arrows that they have, just to see, like, how good they are at stuff.
They read it in the book.
If she can, she'll kind of like pass along a couple of tips, but looking at the arrows and like kind of pointing, like, oh, if you fix this here, stuff like that, just shit she's picked along in practice, and she'll kind of point. She'll be like, straighten that up, and then she'll pass it back.
You see the kid, he does just sort of like he kind of like adjusts his glasses and like immediately goes to like trying to listen to what you were saying. Nathan, dozens, maybe hundreds, as you're approaching the college campus.
Wow.
It's a significant settlement. As you all, now that you're kind of in this cul-de-sac, and you can also look to the left and to the right down the street, like the cross streets that went in the opposite direction, they're all barricaded at the end like that. But the other ones, one of them only has a wall that goes up maybe about 8 feet. It looks like it's primarily made out of like tires and cinder blocks. Another one, the other end, is actually made out of some stacked up cars, and a couple of school buses have been just parked against it. They're not stacked because they didn't have any way to get it up that high, but just sort of like a bit of a barricade on that side. And you see some of these kids over here, though, look like they're a little younger, and maybe as young as maybe middle school, 12-ish, 13-ish.
Farah wants to check like the general well-being of the community, like morality wise. Because like in their own community, morale is high. Like, does it seem like these people are happy, or are they just existing? Or are they scared?
Uh, they seem hungry, but they're maintaining. You know, everybody's skinny. Everybody's skinny. Everybody's dirty. Basically, it's they definitely seem to be having a harder go of it than you guys were having at Coopco, but there's also way more of them than was at Coopco.
As they're walking along, Pharaoh's going to bust out a beat.
Mm-hmm.
Like she's just gonna start like beatboxing a little bit, and
Mm-hmm.
just one of the songs that's popular for her that got mixed a lot. Do
Mm-hmm.
not ask me to do this. The Pharaoh, the character, is
Zone
the
of safety.
person.
Zone of safety. Pharaoh has bars. Marquia may or may not. I got it. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't want you to hurt
Not
him
right
anyway.
this second. Not
Right.
at this point in quarantine.
As you start, you see a couple of heads start bobbing, and then a couple of like heads pop up of young girls being like, I know that song. Are you Pharaoh?
Like, yeah, I'm a DJ Fair. Like, and that's not a code name. And she looks over at Hat Trick.
He looks at you and he's like, I mean, but it is if it's not your name, but okay. Nathan, you realize a kid's trying to slip his hand in your pocket.
Oh,
And
that's
I
not
rolled
good.
100, a critical fail, so he's terrible at it. Like, I mean, like it's kind of like he's trying to slide his hand in, and he basically just like grabs your junk type thing.
Uh-oh.
Like it's the world's worst pickpocket job ever.
I I smack his hand away. I'm just like,
Yeah.
don't fucking try it, kid. Not with me.
No, I'm sorry. I thought you dropped.
Stop talking. It's fine.
And you see, Hat Trick looks at him. He just looks at him and goes, bro. And the guy just goes, I'm sorry, Hat Trick. I'm sorry. And he just like turns and sort of like scurries away. And Hat Trick looks at you and he goes, I'm sorry. That's
Double standards, huh?
Hey, what happens inside the wall is a fuck ton different than what happens outside of the walls, okay?
I get it.
Where's this president of yours? Like, I mean, he brought us in here to talk to him, and You
50-yard
guys are
line.
looking like you got a couple of situations going on in here that you need help with.
He's at the 50-yard line. And he just
Oh.
motions towards the college campus.
All right. Let's see what this guy's about.
Yeah.
Is-
And what are you in all of this, Hat Trick? Are you VP or are we looking at like Department of Transportation here?
Secretary of Defense.
Fair enough.
He's like, hey, don't knock it. I caught you, didn't I?
Well, you know,
Yeah,
I'm not saying anything.
yeah,
Nope.
uh-huh.
We're,
That's, right. That's what I thought.
We're medics who surrendered, so
Can't argue with results. And Vine just speaks up. She's like, no, it's true. He got you guys. Somebody just sent Secretary of the Fence. It's not inaccurate. It's not inaccurate. It
Yep.
is the fence is under the Secretary of Defense's purview, so it is not inaccurate. He does motion you all towards the campus, and one of the first things you notice is most of the human activity is outside the campus. Here, the doors are still open, but it is much clearer that a lot of the windows have been burst out. Things have been torn off of them and repurposed. It doesn't seem like they're really occupied here. There's a couple of people sort of moving to and fro, but the actual activity on the campus is a fraction of what it is outside.
School sucks. It's fine.
Yeah, basically. And we got some shit down in the steam tunnels that we haven't quite been able to extract yet. So we kind of figured it's better to sleep over there.
Huh.
You said birds can get it. Rats can get it too.
they can.
Yeah, they can. But
Man.
you know, we when we send out our hunters, whatever scraps we get, we sort of leave them down in the storm drains, and they don't really come out looking for more. So we kind of got them corralled for the time being.
Are the infected rats also giant when they become infected? Because the condor we saw was a giant. I mean, they're big in general, but they was bigger than it was supposed to be because it was infected.
Bigger than I ever wanted to see. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah,
Like we're talking like dog-sized rats.
Okay, Bean.
What?
Is this a route we want to go down right now? Is this
Just-
something that
He just goes,
Right.
Vine. You see she stops and she goes, and up top of one of the buildings, you hear somebody like bangs on a pot twice, like boom, boom. And over the side, bodies come flipping out of rats that probably weigh 40 pounds
Ooh.
that are sort of just decrepit and rotting. He says,
All
that's
right.
the science department up there.
Okay. I guess I didn't need to see that. You're right, Pharaoh. I don't know why I asked. I don't know what I expected the answer to be.
Well, no, you're a doctor with a curious mind.
Not anymore. I think that part of me is dead now.
Has your
You're still
science
killing them.
department figured anything useful out?
How to keep the rats in the storm drains. I think that's the storm tunnels. I think that's pretty useful. That's pretty useful. We do have one other problem here, and he points at one of the buildings that you can see. It used to say physics, but now it just says yikes. Yeah. He's like, and he motions for you to look inside, Bean. And you can see they've erected sort of an impromptu field triage hospital. And the very first thing that hits your nose is just sickness and infection. It is a very unhealthy place. And you see there is a handful of people inside. Right now, there's 4 of them. 2 of them are older, and 2 of them are like teenage age. One of them, you can see just with a casual observation, has a very poorly bandaged leg wound that has begun to turn Bean. Another woman is laying there, and she just seems covered in sweat from a fever of some sort. And the other two younger ones that are laying there, you can't really tell what's wrong with them. They're just in a bed.
Is this what you wanted me to attend to? Because you know kind of what's going on here, don't you? Or no? Yes or no? I don't know. I mean, I think I kind of one of them is not doing good.
Of course I know. I'm Dr. Hattrick. No, of course I don't. I mean, obviously some shit's wrong with him. I mean, I'm not blind or nose deaf. He probably shouldn't smell like that.
And there's only 4 of them in here who are sick. Yeah, it shouldn't smell this bad if it's just 4 of them. So one of them is about to turn. You know about that, right?
Wait, you don't mean like turn, like, and he motions towards the dead rats, like turn?
It still, correct me if I'm wrong, it's still treatable at the stage? Yes, no? Do I know?
You need to take a closer look.
Okay.
Again, technically, this version of the infection is treatable, kind of. But you need to get a closer look.
Got it. It's a very small possibility that it can still be treated. Yeah. So the leg part.
No, that's Coach Fitzgerald, man. Like,
I can take a. Don't freak. Hey, don't be cool. We talked about being cool. I'm trying to be cool. You gotta try to be cool. But listen, I am gonna take a look, and no promises. But we'll do our best. But this. There's sometimes things have to be done to protect everybody else. I don't know what else to say, kid.
Hattrick. Who are these people? Why are you taking them in there? And you see a young woman approaching that's probably 22-ish. She's wearing like gold wire rim spectacles and a vest and a shirt and a tie. And she comes running over.
That the principal?
He turns and looks at you and he's like, well, the dean, but I mean, it's obvious, right? Like I told it, like it's obvious. She's like, oh, it's on brand, right? Yeah, that is the dean.
Wait, is this your president? Did they win because they're older?
Is like are dean and president the same word? Like, do they speak a different language where you're from? Like, where did you guys like come in here from? Like, I don't.
I mean,
it's the
you know that
dean.
you had so many positions available.
There's a lot of people here, okay? You know, yes, maybe we got a lot of chiefs, but we got a lot of things that need doing, right?
Also, Nathan, I think that makes him a good president. He's creating jobs.
Right.
That's what he said. Yeah, right. And you see this woman comes walking up to you, and she stops when she sees that you all are still armed. And she shoots Hattrick just a withering look. And he says, it's my decision. I wanted them to feel like we weren't just going to cut their throats the moment they walked inside the doors. And she doesn't say anything. And she just kind of like takes a deep breath and she says, where have you all traveled from?
We just stick to the van for the most part. Keep going around and looking for answers. Anything that looks like a good, promising supply run or possible place to stay, but everything kind of looks the same thus far. It's all pretty shitty, and everyone seems to have their own kind of problems. But we try and help when we can.
Yeah, we were headed to the West Coast on a supply run, just feeling things out.
She sort of looks at you all for a second and she says, you scream doomsday prepper. You scream former influencer. You got Los Feliz all over you. You scream disappointed parents. But most of you are local. So where did you come from? She rolled incredibly well on her detect motive.
The hills. I'm a forest creature. It's what I'm good at.
I grew up right around the corner from here. Van Nuys, adjacent.
And yeah, you kind of nailed it. Los Feliz. What the?
Well, my parents are from Sherman Oaks, but I was living in San Jose, and then we came back down, and then living in SoCal wasn't great. I can't move around a lot because rents are like really crazy, and I'm like from where wherever I can live.
You hear the woman inside audibly like shivers. All of you hear her go. It's pretty warm out here. Nathan, you can get away with the jacket because a lot of people are wearing jackets because it's just an easy way to keep your worldly possessions close to you. But it is by no means a cold day. And she's the one
How long
in
has
the
she
bed.
been like that?
72 hours.
You know what that means, right?
They turn and look at each other and they're like, it's inconclusive.
How many people have you had here so far that have gotten sick
Right.
like this? Is this the first time you've like dealt with a sick person here on this camp?
No. Right after the incident, as we've been referring to it here, we had a number of injuries of all sorts. We also had a number of our populace that consumed some things that were ill-advised as they went out raiding. And we also found that it is possible to transmit the illness via carcass. Apparently, the illness can last on meat for quite some time, which also we got the hard way. We try to keep our sick population quarantined. That is why you might notice there is not a lot of people here on the campus proper. As of now, in addition to these 4 people, we have a total of 13 others. Currently, 17 sick people in different places all over the campus.
Are these the most sick?
You see, Hat Trick says the worst ones we actually keep in the old campus jail. So if we're wrong about them and they go, they don't have far to go until we,
Yep.
The meat that you were eating, was that the rats?
Rats, cats, dogs, birds, some deer. That first little while they'd come down out of the hills because there's nothing stopping them. Rang up a few coyote. We actually managed to catch a couple of them and keep them around. We find they bark pretty good when the
Did you
when
not
the
have
zombies are nearby.
scouting teams to be able to go out and get what you would know is not contaminated food? Did you not have that? Did your president not send you out for that?
Hey. I guess I was at soccer practice when they taught fucking Apocalypse Survival 202. Okay? We're making do the best we can here. Yeah. We got some defenses up. We put together some ranging parties. We figured it out, but it's kind of trial by fucking error, okay?
Hey. Teenage Mutant Ninja Power Ranger, chill for a second. You have a large amount of grass on a football field, and you have a lot of hungry people. What you need to do is put a garden out there. Meat is good, but you're going to run out of meat very quickly if that's all you eat. You need to go find places. You need to, when you scavenge, look for things like seeds, other things you can plant. It'll help your problem just a little bit.
You
Or
see
maybe
the
a cow or
dean.
two?
You see the dean slightly adjusts her glasses and she says, we do have a horticulture program taking place. Yes. The grass on the football field itself is actually astroturf, which is why it still exists. But you are quite correct. We
I
do
wouldn't
have
know. Sports.
She says, Doctor, and she motions at you, Bean.
Technically, I didn't actually get my doctorate, but a year in the field will teach you a lot of things. Just Bean's good. Call me Bean.
Dr. Bean. I realize that they're if you would be willing to take a look at them, while I bring your friends along to see the president here, we would appreciate it.
I will look at them, but you have to agree to everyone who is sick. They kind of have to be shackled. I mean, especially if they're really far gone. If they're not in those cages you mentioned, then you gotta keep them secure.
Hey, Coach would never hurt us.
It's not his choice. It's the virus, and I mean, come on, look at the size of those rats. Do you want them to be like that? I mean, this is, or at least put them in a secure room where the doors can be locked.
And you need to make sure that Bean has proper protective clothing. Have you seen these things throw up yet? Because that's new to us.
Yeah, there's something in them. They want to infect others.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, there's a splash zone involved.
We have our face shields, right? Like we
those. Did bring them.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I would say you kept those handy. Mm-hmm. Okay. And that's one of those don't leave home without them type things. Yeah. She just Vine speaks up and she's like, I'll stay with her. And you see she pulls out a revolver, like a 38 snub nose, and like checks it. And he's like, I'll keep her safe. We got like we kind of made like a janky hazmat suit. It was one of the radiation suits out of the physics lab. I don't know if that's gonna like help you, but it's kind of hard to maneuver with the big rubbery gloves. I can show it to you. And Bean, she motions to take you towards the physics lab.
Okie dokie. This is are you hey team, my team, will y'all be cool without me can you go meet the president by yourself, or I don't know?
We can, but I don't like leaving you alone. Is there walkies or any kind of communication that you guys have with each other that we can
we whistle, we bang pots. I mean, he does pull out like a small Nokia walkie-talkie. But he's like, these are emergency use only, because once they're gone, you know?
Give her one. Give her one.
She's critical. How many doctors do you have lying around? We need to make sure.
Okay, all right. And he does hand you this, it's a small Nokia, like kind of a two-way. He's like, hey, if you get into trouble, just break squelch on it. Don't do it now. You will freak everybody the fuck out, okay?
Yep, I definitely ought to use this thing.
So you know how many bones are in a human hand and don't know how to push to talk? We're doomed. We're fucking doomed. Okay, wait, no, just let's just go. Let's just go. Vine, and she's like, come on. Okay, Doc, this way. Yeah. They continue leading you over towards the field. And like she said, the dean was right. As you get a little closer, it is AstroTurf. And the paint on it is still gleaming white. You can see that it has been carefully maintained. And on the sides of both of the sidelines, you see football gear that very much has been painted into armor. The helmets have been painted like skulls. Nails and things have been put on the helmets. Spikes have been put on the shoulder pads. They've even been like loosely like reinforced, but just like again, it's very clear it's whatever they had. Like some of them just have like wood boards on them. Some of them have a chain link that has been made that basically was from like chain basketball nets. But there's clearly rows of like armor for people to put on to fight with. And as you walk in, they're like, this is so when you meet the president, just he's a strong guy. He's kind of a man of action, he's a man of action. But he's kept us safe. What else is there?
Does he have a name? Or do you just call him Mr. President?
Oh, well, we call him 8 Count. President 8 Count.
Huh.
Like boxing, standing 8 count?
Ah, there you go.
Yeah. As they're walking over, you see there's actually, as you get close, there is a ring set up where you see a couple of kids. They have put a hoop on the ground, and each of them have their right foot in the hoop. And they're fighting, but they're like moving around in a circle where they can't take their hand out of the hoop.
Wow.
And you can see the person that is there watching them has a football helmet on with a huge red horsehair plume on it that is very visible from far away. And as they walk up, Hattrick goes, Mr. President, these are the ones I told you about. And he goes, good, good, good. Bring him in. And he turns around and says, holy shit. Nate, is that you? Nathan, this is your brother Jake. And that's a good place for us to go to break. So we'll take a little 10 here, a little 10. And we'll keep the numbers round. We'll do 12. We'll come back at 5 minutes after. Don't go nowhere. And for those of you rating, hey, thank you. Welcome aboard. Don't go nowhere. So we'll be right back.
Okay. Oh man.
As you enter into the once proud physics department, now with just yikes scrawled on the outside with Vine, she says, the suit's down in the basement.
Oh, okay. You gonna come with me to get the suit? Or...
Oh yeah. No, it's fine. I mean, I've seen too many movies. It's daylight. They pretty much don't come in the daytime. It's fine. Yeah, no, let's do it. It's just those fucking rats. Okay. No, I'm good. They'll laugh at me if I'm not good. I'm good.
Okay, what I'm hearing is, and I reach my backpack and I pull out my taser.
Mm-hmm.
That we might get attacked, and that's fine. That's, I don't even really want this. Let's just go.
No, let's go. No, let's do it. And she opens the door, and you see she goes like, all right, we're coming down. We're coming down. And she unclips a small flashlight from her waist pocket, because even though it is daylight outside, there's no power in here, so it's dark down in the basement.
Oh, a dark basement. Why don't you put your stuff upstairs, kids?
I mean, we didn't want anybody to steal it. And okay, all right. I'm cool. You're cool, right? Wait, do you have edibles or something? Like, you're like the street pharmacist. I mean, you have something for my nerves, right? I got like fucking glaucoma or something. Like, I have anxiety, like existentially.
I smack him lightly across the face.
Vine is a girl, but yes, she's like,
sorry.
Okay, all right, yeah, no, I guess I'd seen that in movies. I didn't know that worked. Okay, all right. She pulls out the flashlight and the pistol, and she's like, if this were a movie, this would be the part where I say, I guarantee nothing bad's gonna happen.
Fine, if you don't shut your mouth, I'm gonna shut it with this taser, and I'm gonna watch you roll down those stairs, and I'm gonna laugh at you when you roll down the stairs.
Okay, all right. Woo! And you see she runs down the stairs. She very much like, she goes, okay, go time. And like runs down the stairs with the flashlight out in front of her. And she's like, okay, all right, coast is clear.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Team.
Yeah.
I go down in with her.
You again, although your specialty was medicine, you spent your time around a lot of labs, and that's what it is. You can see there's a heavy equipment for running experiments that are long since irrelevant to the current state of the human race. You can see as she shines her flashlight around where panels have been knocked open and bits and pieces have been taken out, spark plugs and gears have been taken out and clearly tried to be repurposed for something else. And she says they got a closet where they kept the lead line suits over there for the MRI. We took the magnet, and we did build like this giant like fuck off rail gun, which is great. Super inaccurate though. It's a lot of fun. No, we did do it. Like, no, it like
you had an MRI machine, a working MRI machine, and you took it apart for a gun.
What do you think is happening in the world right now, Dr. Bean? Of course we did.
Let's get the suit. Let's get the suit. Let's get the suit.
She does shine the light, and you do see a closet hanging with just two sort of white lead-lined suits.
Cool. Grab one. I'll put this on once we get upstairs. It's too dangerous to put it on down here and climb up the stupid dark stairs, this stupid dark basement.
Right when you reach in, Bean, something lunges out and bites your hand.
Do I get to dodge or anything?
You could try. It rolled a 3.
I'm not gonna do.
So yeah, I mean, no, you could try.
Time.
No, do it.
Okay, fine. I'm a dodge. What stat is this?
You might roll that. There is a dodge skill that is right.
It just says dodge. All right. Doesn't matter. I rolled a 93, and I don't think I have a fucking 100 in part of my language.
You feel something bite into your hand, and you scream. And when you scream, Vine screams, and she goes, "Ah! Pow, 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 pow," and just starts shooting up the case.
Does Vine shoot the suits also when she does this, or have we grabbed them?
Vine actually shot fairly precisely, so she doesn't shoot the suits, but you're not exactly sure what she shot. And as you look down on your hand, you've got 2 puncture wounds that are starting to turn very bright red, and your hand is starting to go numb.
Fun. So good. So fun. So fun. Okay, we're done with this. We're done with this now. Let's go. I run up the stairs.
She grabs one of the lead-lined suits and throws it over her shoulder. You know, it is pretty heavy. Presumably, you try and grab the other one.
Oh, I don't give a shit about the suits anymore. I don't care about.
Oh, you leave the suit and you run. She does get the one though. She's like, wait, no, hold on.
Doesn't matter.
Me being a resist pain check, which is on the right-hand side near the top.
That's a 49 out of 36. That's 1 degree of failure or a push.
That is a push. Bean, it's hurting. It's starting to hurt. You don't know what bit you, but it is not good.
Okay. Do I make it upstairs? Am I clear the basement?
Yeah. You do go running, and she's coming behind you. You see, she's like very much huffing and puffing, like, because the suit weighs about 50 pounds, but she does grab it.
I find a flat spot on the ground. I take my backpack off. I take out all the sanitizing equipment, and I want to try to like heal my hand, whatever that entails. I'm not an actual for real doctor in real life. I don't know. It's alcohol or like pushing the venom out or cutting a hole. How do people do this? I'm scared. Guys, I'm scared.
Give me an endurance check.
Okay.
And yes, just give me an endurance check.
That's a 53 out of 28.
You don't feel so good, Bean. You don't feel so good.
Lay down.
And you hear Vine sounds like she's far off in the distance. She goes, Bean, 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 Bean. Meanwhile, on the football field, your brother stands there in front of you, Jake. And when he turns around, he is wearing an outfit that, again, under different circumstances would be ridiculous, but very much fits the aesthetic of what is going on here. His helmet has the grill has been removed, so you can see his whole face, making kind of an impromptu, almost Spartan helmet. And you can see the red plume is actually what would have been the bristles on like a big janitor's broom that have just been like repurposed over the top of his head. And he is wearing shoulder pads that have been reinforced with hubcaps on top. And you can see underneath he is wearing a Kevlar vest. And if there were any doubt that it's him, you very much see that he's got the same matching tattoo that you got with your mom's name that you both got when she died. It's him. But the difference is where the rest of these people look kind of gaunt, borderline sickly. He just looks like shredded down to the bone, though. Like there's
Wow.
not there's not an ounce of fat on him. And he looks at you for a second, and he just comes, holy shit, Nathan! And he runs over like he wants a hug.
I'm stunned. I kind of freeze.
And you all see this man who he has not said out loud to you anything about a brother Jake. He just runs up and hugs him, and Nathan kind of just stands there.
Pharaoh kind of leans over to Madison and goes, "Immortan Jake."
I mean,
And as they're processing that, it's like blood kind of flows through my body, and I grab him and embrace him as tightly as I can.
And what were you saying there, Madison, as he does return the hug here? What do you say?
oh, nothing. She's just also like tongue-tied and trying to put things together.
And you hear, he just like kind of softly, you hear in your ear him going just like, motherfucker, motherfucker. You motherfucker. And he stops and he pushes you off of him.
What?
And he's
what?
like, you fucking left me. You fucking left me. And when he pushes you the second time, he pushes you.
Wait.
Like it so quickly goes from the happy reunion to the like a real shove. The Madison and Pharaoh, you both see it. It's very much a like, poof. And when he does that, you see Hat Trick and the Dean, both of them kind of step back, but get visibly agitated when he's visibly agitated. They're both like, what is happening?
I kind of put my hand on Pharaoh's shoulder and I go, maybe we should give them a moment.
Yeah, this is some family shit right here.
Look, who left who? I don't know if we're remembering this thing exactly the same, because I remember you being the one that was gone.
He immediately throws what you know to be his best move, Nathan. He just throws a heinous leg kick at you. Just give me either your brawl or you can give me your dodge.
All right. It will be my brawl. I rolled a 29 out of 81.
He rolled 9 out of 81. And you guys watch that. I mean, he just goes and turns his hip fully into this. And you see Jake brings his leg up to check it like seamlessly. Nathan does. You guys knew he kind of knew how to scuffle, but like watching this exchange happen so fast. But he is able to rotate through it a little more, Nathan. And you get the leg up, but he pushes you to the side and it hurts. And you guys hear, it sounds like two bats colliding. Pow! And Nathan's, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Farrah's gonna take this time to kind of put her hands up and like back up while looking at the other two, not Madison, looking at the other two like brothers.
Yeah, they both like, you see they're kind of like stunned a little bit, like. And you see he takes the helmet off. And once he takes the helmet off, and Madison and Pharaoh, you can get a good look at him. They're clearly brothers, clearly. And he sort of throws it down. He's like, we fought those fucking things in the yard, and then we got in the car, and we said, yes, we're going, but we're going to hit the drugstore on the way out of town because we don't know. Like, this is the fucking apocalypse. We need to get some, like, bandages and booze and, like, antiseptic and shit. And I came out, you were fucking gone.
I don't remember any of that. I remember crashing. I remember waking up and you weren't there, and we were drinking when this happened, man. Why did you let me be the one to drive?
I
don't even remember the entire night. I have like patches where I blacked out.
There was goddamn zombies pouring out of people's houses, man.
I woke up, I came to, and the car was wrapped around the tree, and the people that found me are the people that I've been staying with, but I thought you left me. I don't remember half the night. I was blitzed.
You, man. And the two of us survive all this time and just running to each other like this. You expect me to believe that you just like la 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 walk in here and didn't know that this was my thing I had going.
I didn't know this was your thing. Now, I was going to say that I was glad to see you, but then you got to come at me like this. You know, like what the fuck is up with that shit? Look, we're alive. We're here. I'm glad to see you.
He kind of like takes a step back away from you and sort of like moves where his body's position where Madison and Pharaoh are in front of him, and he's closer to Hat Trick and the Dean. And he's like, who are you two?
We ran into your brother along the way. I got separated from my brothers too. So it's not always on purpose, you know, right? There's like a lot of shit happening right now. No offense.
Yeah, it sounds like y'all were really drunk and things happened. And it doesn't seem like in this instance, a lot of things changed from the before times. But I can say that Nathan had our back a number of times whenever we like ranged out. So I don't know what happened in the past, but even with the drinking, he's really solid right now.
Which one of you is the doctor?
She's downstairs looking at some of the injured and sick people that you have here, hopefully taking care of them. So there you go. Your brother came bearing gifts in the form of medical attention.
Yeah, and she has a talkie, so if anything happens, and we'll hear like a couple of clicks. So it's fine.
Right when she says that, you guys hear
Run.
Is that the signal? If that's a signal.
you see Hat Trick looks at the hip that is on Jake's hip. President Standing 8. And he looks down and he doesn't know what it is. And Hat Trick does turn and bolts towards the physics lab.
We gotta go. And I take off running, but I grab my brother by like the jersey that he's wearing and I pull him along. You gotta come with us. We're not done.
He like knocks your hand off of you. He's like, hey, around here I give the orders, all right? But yeah, let's go. That's the distress signal. And as you guys come in, you hear as you're approaching, holy shit, holy shit, holy fuck, holy shit, holy shit, holy shit. And you all see Bean on the floor convulsing, and foam is coming out of her mouth.
Oh no.
Fuck. What did you guys do to her?
What happened?
like something bitter. I didn't see what it was. Something
Where?
bitter. Is
Where?
it downstairs? Downstairs. Oh, it bit her on the hand. It bit her on the hand. It bit her on the hand.
Madison's gonna look around for an axe.
Pharaoh is going to take off her bandana and tourniquet Bean's arm from the elbow down that she was bit on.
You see when she's standing there shaking, your brother Nathan just stands over her, and you hear he goes, and he pulls out a 9mm and points it right at her head.
What are you doing? No.
What do you think I'm doing? I'm gonna have this bitch turn and have a zombie loose.
Well, you have a room full of people that are practically turned, and you're gonna kill the doctor that's here. That is their only
That's the
chance
fucking
to save them?
doctor.
That is the doctor. You need to
Jesus
do whatever you
fuck,
can
Vine.
to make sure she lives.
What happened to her? And she like at this point, Vine is literally like rocking and holding like Bean's other hand, and she's like, something bitter, something bitter. I shot it. I tried to shoot it. I think I got it. I don't know, something bitter.
Can I make like an awareness roll to see if like I know if there's anything around here that would help her at all? Like if she's having an allergic reaction to like a spider bite and you can find some Benadryl or something.
You can make a medicine check, but she was the expert.
Let's see. Because I was a doomsday prepper, so I feel
Mhm.
like it's within the realm of reason that I have a basic knowledge of emergency.
You're all welcome to make a medicine check to try and figure out what's happening.
Is it
Now,
Is that
Pharaoh,
advanced medicine
or
and
is that
expert skill?
first aid?
first aid, because no, I don't think either of you have advanced medicine, do you? It'd be
We
I have
first aid.
7%
7%.
advanced
Oh,
medicine.
you do have advanced medicine. Yeah, you
Yeah.
guys are not completely unprepared. Well, yes, then go ahead and make a roll here.
I went ahead and rolled 2 just because we're all there trying to
Mhm.
sort this out.
I rolled a 28, but do you still want that with the advanced medicine skill, or do you want that with the first aid?
So do it against the first aid because again, the way the advanced skills work is it just allows you to try some different things.
So that's 28 and 45.
So that's what, 1 degree of success.
I rolled a 3%.
We just
All right.
killed it. I rolled a 17. So
I have a 7 in advanced medicine and I rolled a 3%.
You all go to work very much like looking at her. You're like, okay, all right, okay. And you all at the exact same second come to the exact same conclusion. She's dying. Her death is imminent.
shit.
Oh,
What
no.
medicine do you have? Is there anything?
If we cut off the hand, could we? I
But
mean,
I don't think that's going to work, Pharaoh. I think right now what we got to do is look for the strongest sedative that we have, and I think we have to give it to Bean. And I think that is probably what is going to help her the most. And then after
no,
Cut off her
no,
hand.
no.
What do you have? I turned to my brother, asked him if he has
No.
an axe. What do you have?
She's fine. She's
Like-
fine. We just have to do more. That's all that this is right now.
You see on Vine's back is a fire axe. She's one of the ones that had it when you all came out to the ambulance.
Give it to
Pharaoh's
me.
grabbing it.
Mhm.
Yeah, you see she almost like doesn't even notice. Like you kind of tug it because it's pulled in, and like she very much is like rocking back and forth, just kind of holding her hand. And you guys see Bean's arm is starting to like swell. And you can see from the bite marks, like black veins are going out over her hand.
From the elbow. You or me? Who's doing it?
I've got a really good slash attack.
I'm gonna then hold her down, being down, and I'm gonna take off my shirt to get ready to wrap it around her.
Okay.
while they're doing that,
Mhm.
Madison's going to check the cabinets to see if she can find anything that the teenagers haven't used for recreational purposes all up. That is something that that might actually, if done in large quantities, could peacefully send someone into the next world.
So you have rolled very successfully. And here in the Yikes building, you see they have stockpiled a lot of chemicals that they've taken from places that they just didn't understand. You think you could probably you could give her something that would take the pain away. I mean, even you're not sure how far it would go. You're like, I'm not. I mean, what makes like medicinal morphine? I don't know. You know, like especially some of these bottles, the labels are old and worn because they've been down there for a long time.
Mhm.
But I'm gonna rope this into your previous excellent roll.
Mhm.
You could probably put her to sleep permanently if you needed to.
I'm just gonna give her a little bit right now just to see if that like helps, and if we see like any sign of change, if she starts to calm down, if cutting the limb off actually makes like a difference or something. But I do have like enough there that if shit starts to go awry, we can try and take Bean out of pain as quickly as possible before we have to do terrible things.
But you do give her at least a little something now.
Just a little tiny nip to make her feel a little better.
You notice you give her a small injection of something. It's kind of hard to find a vein with her convulsing, although Nathan helps you, and the convulsing does slow. But I mean, she very much is still. It does not sound like she's turning, but it does sound like she's like choking.
She's choking.
Sounds like she's
Yeah.
choking.
Yeah, like it's whatever the poison is doing to her. It's starting. So if you guys
You
are
know
going
how
to
to
try
do a
this, you should
trach
try.
draw?
You should try it now.
I rolled a 3%. I mean, can I give her a tracheotomy so she can breathe? But I also want to cut the arm.
So let me tell you all what has happened here. I have already rolled the damage for the poison, and it so happens the dice exploded, and I have already rolled enough damage that Bean should die. However, I'm willing to give you all one shot at this to save your friend's life. So I have in mind how many successes it is going to take to save her. Yes, Bean.
I'm dying, but listen, we have 2 competence points.
Yeah. You know what? Since you're fighting for your life, I will let you include your competence points in this, Bean, because it is much about your will to survive as it is for anything else. So you cannot roll skill checks, but I would like you not wanting to shuffle off the mortal coil. I will allow you to include for your 2. So I know in my mind how many successes you need, and I'm not going to tell you in advance how much it is. But just so you guys know that I'm not messing with you, I'm going to send our production overlords here the number that you all need to save Bean's life. So I have an external record of what this is going to take. So you all tell me what you do. In trying to sever the limb that is clearly that is the source of the poison, that is valid. If you want to try and do something to ease her breathing, you all tell me what it is you are going to do.
I think since Pharaoh rolled the highest, because I'm meta as fuck, I think she should perform a tracheotomy while one of us takes a swing with the axe for the slashing damage, and maybe we can get Bean breathing at the same time that we cut the infection off.
I concur with that.
Okay. So here's what we're gonna do. And I know what you just said, but I will allow you to look at each other's skills here to see if somebody is better or worse suited to do this. Maybe you rearrange who was going to do what.
All right.
But I'm going to allow 1 first aid roll, 1 slashing roll, and 1. Let me see.
Nathan, I think you should probably
one calm other roll.
Calm other.
Because this is about to be traumatic as hell. It is on the left-hand column under the trained skill checks.
All right.
I will let the 3 of you decide who's doing what.
So I'm in the middle of a tracheotomy for this. So obviously not taking the slashing.
Again,
we can share numbers.
I'll let you. Oh yeah. And I'm saying if it turns out once you look at your sheet, if you're better served slashing, but somebody else is better with first aid, or somebody else is better with calm other, like I will let the 3 of I know what the plan is. I will let the 3 of you decide who's rolling what. Remember, you have competence
for
points.
a while, so we know what our strengths are.
Mm-hmm.
My slashing is 47. My first aid is 39%.
My slashing is 40. My first aid is 45. My
And
calm
mine's-
other is 31.
My calm other is 32.
I think you have the highest slashing.
Yeah.
Lewis. Nathan.
I'm all right. I got the axe. I got that one.
And I'll calm others. And I rolled a 39.
And you against a 31. So that is within 10%. That is just a push. So far, that is nothing. However, remember, you do have your 2 competency points.
Okay.
We get 2 competency points each, or for the whole group?
Each.
I will use 2 of mine. I'm trying my absolute hardest to try and calm Bean down. So I'll use both of mine.
What are you saying to her during this?
I'm talking to her, and I'm like kind of stroking her hand a little bit, and I'm like, "Come on, Bean, you're gonna pull through this. Come on, you got plenty of dumbass kids that you gotta take care of when you get out of here, and plenty of snacks to steal, and plenty of origami starburst wrappers to fold, and annoyed Nathan with as he's trying to be stealthy. You're gonna do this, buddy. You're gonna do this. Come on, pull through. I'll steal oatmeal pies from the kids for you. Come on."
She springs back to life. Yeah, no. Okay, all right.
Oatmeal
So,
pies.
right. Yeah, oatmeal pies and revenge. Yes, I'm going to live. Yeah, all right, Nathan.
I rolled a 20, and my slashing is 47.
So that is 2 degrees of success so far. Madison included her too. Would have been a push. So we're at 4 degrees of success right now.
So we only need 5 degrees for it to be spectacular.
Uh-huh.
I rolled a 32 out of 45 for first aid.
So that is 1 degree of success. 5.
Do I need to use
In
any competency points, or are we good?
I'm gonna let Bean use her 2 because hand to God, the number of successes I said you needed to save Bean's life was 7.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Oh wow.
Hashtag save the bean.
Oh wow.
Save the bean.
However,
Ugh.
this is incredibly traumatic. Your sword comes down, and when the arm comes off, you can smell a stinking infection that is already loose in her blood. Even as you have tourniqueted, this is seconds. I mean, she was gone. She's gone 5 minutes.
Mhm.
When you tourniquet the limb off and bandage it, I will include all of that in this too. You realize, Pharaoh, as you're working on her, it's not so much that you need to do like the full tracheotomy. It's like her lungs were failing. But you're sort of able to kind of prop her head up more and like more position her and make her more comfortable than actually have to completely open her up, which is why you didn't need to use your competency points. It's just she was basically experiencing organ failure. And as you Madison end up giving her just like another little hit after she has it off here, and you realize that she sort of like grunts for a moment, and then just her whole body just goes limp, and her brow is glistening with fever.
Is she conscious at all? Like, can she talk?
Give me a composure, either composure or resist pain, whichever is higher, Bean, under your basic skills.
Oh, I've got a 60 composure. Let's see what I can do. Oh, I got British. Hold on. A 65 out of 60. So that's a push.
She sort of like moans a little bit. She's alive. She's alive. But it's, you don't know if it's the trauma. You don't know if maybe this like weapons grade is the only word that's coming to mind, but that's not what I mean. This science strength morphine maybe might have hit a little harder than you meant it to, Madison, especially when she's thrashing.
Yeah, I do kind of like set it down off to the side when I see her moan a little bit and kind of lean in just to feel her head and make sure she's okay. And if she is sweating, I try and like find a couple of things like rags or anything like that we can like use to cool her down and do some like minor first aid stuff for her.
I was thinking medical grade could be a name for it, but I don't know what not medical grade. The thing I'm thinking is how there's medicinal cocaine, you know, where there's like specifically it's that. This is like, you know, research grade morphine, you know, not what would be put in a drip. I apologize, y'all. I'm not actually a doctor.
Prescription strength? I don't know.
Prescription, I don't know where you get over the counter morphine. That's where I keep failing at this. Like, I don't know what the, you know, the scale of such things is. But you all think you're fairly certain she's going to live. But as you guys kind of sit here on the floor of this strange building, which is now covered in blood, even though you acted quickly, and you see this girl, Vine, has Bean's blood all over her because you didn't realize she kind of was like trying to hold her head and comfort her when all of this was happening. It all happens in a matter of minutes that this all happens, but everything is like completely eerily quiet. And Nathan, you hear your brother just say, fuck.
And I see Vine covered in all this blood?
Oh yeah, no. Vine is like kind of like cradling Bean's head, and she's like, "No, you're gonna be okay. You're gonna be okay. You're gonna be okay. No, it's fine. No, it's fine. But like we got the suits, and you're gonna be able to go, and you're gonna be able to help those sick people, and then like this is gonna
Jake,
be all right."
you look at her. She needs to wash all that off right now.
And he sort of looks at her, and he's like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah. Dean, yeah, get her to the kiddie pool." And you see the Dean like reaches down like she's going to touch Vine, and then kind of doesn't, and goes, Vine, Vine, Vine. And eventually, she's like, huh, and she's like, come on, we got to go clean you off. And she says, I didn't see what better. I thought I shot it. But she's going to be okay. She's going to be okay. I shot it. And she's going to be okay. It's no problem. We got the suit. I shot it. She's going to be okay. And they very much like, you see the Dean does not touch her. She's like, no, you did a great job. You did a great job, Vine. Let's go. And you see Head Trick looks down at all the blood on the floor, and he just goes, I'll get some kids in here to clean this up.
Wherever the suits were, lock it off now.
You see the president looks at you, and he goes, yeah. Hetrick, get some of the get the linemen. We got to seal that off. And Hetrick just goes, yes, sir. And you see he pulls off his belt, which you didn't realize before, and it was like a very small air horn. And he just kind of holds it out the door and just hits it twice, like, and you hear a commotion of dudes kind of like, hop, 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 kind of off in the distance. And Jake looks down, and he's like, I sure as shit hope she was right-handed, because the creature bit you on the left hand.
Where we need to put her somewhere.
Also, none of us get to say I'll be back in like 5 minutes. None of us get to say 5 minutes ever again.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, and wherever we put her, we need to sanction that area off. I say to Pharaoh, like really, really well, because she's going to probably take some time to recover. And I point to my ear to kind of like signal, like, remember what we heard earlier.
Yeah.
You
If
see,
we can get her, and actually Pharaoh like goes like, if we can get her to the ambulance at any time, we should.
Nope, neither of them heard that. You see Jake is still just kind of stands there, and you see like you hear his boot like squeak slightly in the blood, and he looks down, and he's like, the fuck is down there? No, wait, let's get it. You wanna pick her up, Nate? I can get some people. Like we made stretchers.
Yeah. I get one of those here. I want to carry her somewhere.
Hey, a few moments later, you see a couple of kids come over with what is clearly a front door of a house that has had the doorknob removed, and they are wearing rubber dishwashing gloves, and they kind of reach down and put Bean on the table and pick it up, and they're like, "Where to, sir?" And Jake just says, the library. And they're
I'm
like,
going with them.
yeah, no, we all should. And you see Hat Trick is still just sort of like staring at the blood, all transfixed. And he's like, get that shit taken care of. And he's just like, yeah. Hey, and as you're getting ready to go, Madison, he just kind of reaches out and he grabs your arm.
Yeah.
I'm sorry about your friend. We didn't bring you guys in here for that.
It's kind of a shit show outside, kid. I don't think any of us blame you. But you might want to listen to all the advice you've just been given and do your best to clean this up. And you should probably take a rest and maybe get a tougher stomach if you're going to be in charge of things, because you look really shell-shocked right now for you know, you got to keep your cool, kid.
No, I'm good. No, yeah. All of you, give me a spot listen.
Probably not me.
No, you're in the next world.
Bad.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
I got a 55 out of 59.
That is 1 degree of success. Okay.
Rolled an 87 out of 59.
No, all you can see is this kid sort of like with the 1,000-yard stare. And he's like, okay, all right, okay. As you guys are getting ready to go, you swear, Pharaoh, you hear like down in the basement, like a chair move or something. A little like, And right when you see that, you see 3 big defensive lineman type guys wearing the armor that you saw at the field. One of them, it is painted like a tiger. One of them, it is painted like a bear. And one of them, it is painted like a wolf.
Before
And
they go, can I say anything to them before they go down?
oh yeah, no, they just kind of like come in and you see all of them have like a bat wrapped in barbed wire and like a long knife that you can very much tell is just like repurposed from something. It's kind of like a leather handle and it's just like a jagged piece of metal.
Do not try to kill, just seal it off.
They sort of look at you for a second and the president speaks up and he's like, yeah, no, she's tough. They're survivors. Just seal it off. And they just go hup, 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 hup. And you see they do like physically just start moving like things and just throwing it down the stairwell, like boom, 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 like carrying things and just pushing stuff down as they carry Bean out of here to the library. Nathan, oh yeah, go ahead, Madison. Sorry.
I'd like to follow where they're taking Beaton. I just kind of want to like stand behind them and just, you know, keep an eye on things and make sure they make it there. And then when they get there, I'd like to kind of do a radius run of the library and make sure everything's safe.
Okay. You can give me a spot listen while you do that. Nathan, I know you said you were going with her, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is Pharaoh doing?
I'm heading towards where they're taking Bean, but I'm gonna take a second to speak to the president
Mm-hmm.
On the way, where it's like how many hordes have you fought off or weathered so far?
You notice while you're talking, somebody runs up to him and hands him his helmet and he puts it back on. And he's like, you sci-fi fan at all?
Yeah. I was a counselor for a space camp for like a season.
No shit. Always dreamed about going to space camp.
It's real cool.
I mean, except it was in Huntsville, Alabama fucking sucks, but I guess everywhere fucking sucks now. You remember Battlestar Galactica?
Oh, yeah. Who doesn't? BSG, you know.
Remember after the movie, the first episode 33, where they attacked every 33 minutes and they couldn't figure out why? And everybody was just worn out and exhausted because the Cylons hit them every 33 minutes.
I remember that.
It was like that for longer than I can remember.
Okay, then. They're coming.
I mean, no shit.
No. We heard them when we were coming in. We didn't know what kind of people you were. They are coming now. The 33 minutes is almost up.
He pulls the little walkie-talkie off his belt and he clicks it and he's like, pull in the ambulance. He's like, we'll get you right in here. Be safe on this side of the wall.
Good.
Thank you. And
Holy
Pharaoh
shit.
heads towards where Bean and everybody else is.
Is your what was your spot listen, Madison?
29 out of 59.
So 3 degrees of success. Madison, is you're making the circuit and you you watch them, you're again, to correct me if I'm wrong, your intention was to watch them go in and then make the circuit, right?
Yeah, she's kind of keeping like all eyes out, and like as
Mhm.
they're walking to the library, she's trying to take as much information in about this place as far as like even an escape route to see like how open it is, things like that. Since we were just talking about trying to get Bean back to uh, the the ambulance as well. So we're trying. She's trying to take kind of like a mental layout of the place as she's walking, and also kind of keep an eye out for all the shit that we heard earlier to see if she sees anything crazy particular with zombies.
As you are taking all of this in, you definitely can notice a change in the tone of the place as words kind of spreading. Like Vine came out covered in blood, and then they call for a stretcher, and then somebody's getting carried out. You very much see people like kind of stopping what they're doing. And about a half block down, you can see like a small army of them have come and started kind of moving pieces out of the way to make a hole big enough to bring the ambulance in, as you can see them doing. Um, Nathan, while you're walking, Jake is like, "Hey, you're willing to you're welcome to like put some roots down here and ride this thing out with me, man. I could use you, brother. I could use you."
We just need to focus on what's happening right now. Something's coming, and we need to make sure you and I right now. We need to. We need to make sure that everything is cool between us. I don't want you taking any of this past shit out on me. Right now is not the time.
No, 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 no. I owe you a fucking ass whooping. Trust me, it's coming. But I mean, at this exact second, that kid, it could be bleeding to death. And I don't know when Vine's gonna be back on her feet. Like, just we'll squash it for now. For now.
All right.
I'm glad you're alive. Even if it means I'm gonna kill you.
I wouldn't have it any other way.
Madison, you sort of see where up on a second story window, as they're walking by the window carrying Bean, out of the corner of your eye, you don't notice it at first till you turn and you look. On the bottom of the door are 3 things the size of a man's hand as they walk past the window.
Who's closest to me right now?
I would say, you sort of jogged around. I'd say Pharaoh's probably closest, is like she spoke and then kind of walked ahead, and Nathan and Jake are kind of having their moment out here on the grass. Pharaoh would be approaching as you're kind of like,
I kind of do the little thing that I sometimes do, which means like look at that little Archer codes that we use around the box and then kind of motion towards there with my eyes for Pharaoh to look.
Pharaoh immediately looks up.
you hear, and a kid comes flying out of the window with something on him that is like clawing and biting at him as
I
he's
shoot
like
it.
flailing at it.
I shoot it, and possibly him. I shoot it.
Roll it. When Jake or Nathan, your brother sees this, and you see he reaches and he pulls out that 9 and goes running in towards the library. Bean, give me another either endurance or resist pain, whichever's higher. Oh, sorry, not endurance. Composure or resist pain.
I rolled a 62. My composure is 60.
Bean, it's like off in the distance, you hear screaming. But
am I conscious or no? I'm just kind of dreaming.
That's a push between the pain and the morphine and quite poison and trauma. It's like all of this is like happening somewhere nearby.
Okay.
But you're not awake yet.
In my head, I whisper, canned spinach.
Yeah, right. Pharaoh, what is Pharaoh doing when you see this?
Pharaoh has pulled her gun.
Mm-hmm.
Now, seeing this, is there a target to shoot besides the one that Madison has already? Actually, and you know what? No, we're both shooting at this thing that is crawling on this kid.
Yeah,
Pharaoh is trying to be more deliberate about shooting the thing.
just look
Uh,
all over him. Roll it, Madison. Let's see how well you do.
I got 36 out of 69.
36 out of 69 is 3 degrees of success. So before we kind of like glossed this over, well, hold on a second. First of all, let me do something else here because it's getting a little realer, y'all. So how many degrees of success is that for you? Sorry.
Now you're making me math. I think it's 3. I think it's 3.
I think it's 3. Let me just double check something here. Because it is actively jumping and moving and trying to get away from you. So it's got a dodge. So let's see how well its dodge does against your shoot. So currently you're at 3. You can go ahead and roll Pharaoh, just so you can get your successes. If it so happens that Madison kills this, I'll let you bank it.
29 out of 69.
Nice.
So how many degrees of success is that for you?
That is 4 degrees of success with
All
her
right.
pistol.
All right, so you hold on to that. It only got 1 degree of success on its dodge. So that still leaves you 2 degrees of success, Madison. So this time I'm gonna let you roll your damage because we didn't really do that before. So you're gonna roll 2d6 because you've got your 2 successes. If you get a 6, it still counts as 5, but you're gonna re-roll it.
I got 8. 5
8.
and a 3.
Okay. 8 total. You see Pharaoh, she buries a crossbow bolt in this thing. And it rears back, and when it does, it hisses. And you can see underneath, when it rears up, it has 2 incredibly long fangs. And it goes, and then you shoot it as well.
Does it look like it bit the kid?
You can't tell yet. It's all happening very quickly. Madison has wounded it. She has not killed it. You could take the time to check on the kid, but in the time you do that, the creature is going to do something else.
I'll shoot the creature.
Okay.
I have 4 degrees of success.
With your firearm, let me double check and make sure that that doesn't allow you to do something else with your pistol. If you had 5, you could do it. However,
I'll spend a competency point.
I'm going to let you hold it because you're probably going to be able to do enough damage to kill it.
Okay.
Because your handgun already is going to do 2 degrees of success. 2 damage dice, and each success is another damage die. So that's like 6 damage dice. And Madison has wounded it. So you can roll 6d6, basically. On any of those, if you roll a 6, it counts as 5 and you re-roll it because this is an exploding dice system. So the numbers get big quickly. What is Nathan doing during all this? You have seen your brothers running towards the library and you saw the kid come flying out the window. What are you doing?
How far away is this kid that flew out of the window with the creature on his head?
It's like 20 feet, but it is very clear to you that Madison and Pharaoh are all over it. She's like, and they're like, pow, 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 you know.
I brought my shield and I got my bat, so I'm running with Jake, but I'm also trying to get him to slow down. Well, you don't know what you're running into. Stop running in.
He's like, there's kids in there. There's kids in there,
and there's creatures in there that are probably eating them and are going to eat you too if you run in like this.
He turns around and he just kind of like shoves you with the hand without the gun. And he's like, your friend's in there. Do you want her to get fucking eaten?
She's already in there?
Yeah.
She's already in the library?
Oh, yeah. The kid that came flying out of the window is one of the kids that was carrying her on the stretcher. Yeah.
Yeah. As soon as he mentions that, it's like as if I lost track of shit, and I'm running in with him.
Yeah.
Shield out.
He's yeah.
What does he have in his hand?
He just has a 9mm in one hand and the other hand is empty.
You stay behind me then.
Fuck that. I'm the president.
No. You stay behind me. Don't be that fucking jackass big brother bullshit.
Hey, go. And he does like put a hand on your shoulder, like, you know, like tactical march where you got the shield and the bat. How many points of damage was that, Pharaoh? You are muted, ma'am.
I rolled 2 5s in that, and I was supposed to re-roll 5s.
You re-roll 6s. They count as 5, but you re-roll it.
Okay, then those were 2 5s that I will bring back.
Okay.
That's because it was 2 5s, 2 4s, and 2 2s. Now
10,
that I'm looking at it,
yeah, 18, 22.
20, 22.
All right. 75% of the chat voted against Bean surviving, man. Bean, they don't believe in you. They don't believe in you, Bean.
My rolls have been very bad, to be fair.
All of our rolls tonight have not been what they usually are.
Nathan, as you're approaching and your brother's behind you, tactical with the gun up, you see Madison check, bang, this thing goes, and it just gets pasted. And you can see, Pharaoh, over this kid, multiple bite marks. And he is clearly starting to...
I take out the kid. Headshot.
It is a mercy. I assume Madison doesn't do anything to intervene.
I was gonna say the only thing she would have done is been like tried to do it with the crossbow, but to be honest, you just fired the gun several times to kill the thing. I realized afterwards and went, oh no, we've been with it's loud. Just go for it. It's quick. It's quicker. It's quicker with the gun than it is with the crossbow.
Nathan, just out of the corner of your eye, once you're going up the steps, you see Pharaoh just sort of like steps near him, and you know what's about to happen. As you enter inside, you hear the pop. Give me your spot listen, Nathan.
Okie dokie.
Jake whispers in your ear, second floor.
3%.
It so happens I have so that's quite a bit.
3 out of 39.
Perfect. As you go up the stairs, Jake, you notice 2 things. One of these things is crawling along a bookshelf. And you can sort of see down the stacks. The other kid is like in the stacks. And a little further ahead, you can see there is a table in like a conference room at the end. And you can see Bean laying on it, still unconscious, with the other one crawling along. It doesn't look like it's bitten her yet, but it is on the table that she's on.
Wow. So there's the one in the distance in the conference room on the table that Bean is on, and then there's one closer to us along a bookshelf.
You basically would either kind of have to turn down the stacks to take out the one that is approaching the kid, or go straight ahead to take out the one that is after Bean. You can't get to both of them in time.
I turn to Jake and I say, I'm saving her. You do what you got to do.
He just pushes you and he turns and he like looks down the stacks and starts heading that direction.
All right, I'll be back. And I got to save Bean. I'll come back and help him with the kid when I'm done with that.
All right. So
Madison would also like to take off towards Bean as soon as the kid has been put out of his misery and go in there, because she is going to try, now that everybody's distracted, to make a mad dash with Bean back to the ambulance if she can see an opening.
All right. So first thing, give me stealth, Nathan, to see if you can sneak up on this thing before it knows you're there. Because as of yet, it doesn't seem to be doing anything hostile.
Got it.
Madison and
All
Pharaoh,
right.
I'll get you in here momentarily, but Nathan is a little ahead of you.
I rolled a 45 out of 39. So that's a push.
Competency points.
Yeah, do you have any competency
I
points?
do. I have 2. I'll use 1.
You're going to use 1. Okay. Let me just check something real quick here.
The way he said that was like, hey, you should use 2, but I'm just, I don't know, just spitballing here.
Yeah, 1 success. You'll come after me.
You see, you sort of come along and it's like turns towards you and you stop for a second. And then it goes to crawl some more and you kind of boom, hit the window. It turns and jumps towards you, Nathan.
All right.
So give me a dodge check.
So if it's jumping at me, what I'm going to try to do, if it's jumping at me, I'm going to try to like.
You swing
shove it
instead? Or hit
with
a
the
shot?
shield.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right, so I'm gonna give you a couple of options here. You can give me a melee blunt to shield bash it instead of jumping, because it does jump
Exactly.
towards you.
I want to use its momentum against it.
Madison and Pharaoh, both of you give me spot listens, because technically you don't know about the other one in the stacks yet.
So this is a bludgeon, right?
Yeah,
Melee?
Mhm.
I rolled a 1%. Not kidding.
Then I'm gonna spice this up for you, Nathan, and I'm gonna say as it jumps, you mean to shield bash it, but the instincts take over and you
Knock it out.
how many successes is that?
That's 1% out of
Mhm.
81. So that's
So
8.
that is significant catastrophic damage to this thing. I'm gonna give you here's a bad, but I thought there was a all right, so you have a couple of options you can do. I swear I thought a barbed bat was an option. I might be thinking of a previous edition of the game here. Yep, nope, there's just the baseball bat. So on 166 in the book there, Nathan, book 166, not PDF 166, you will see there's a couple of different things you can spend your successes on.
All right. Getting to that,
Yep.
right?
You've definitely got 5. You tell me what you do to it. Madison and Pharaoh, how were you on that spot listen?
43 of 59.
Okay, so there's 1 degree of success. Okay.
I got a 49 out of 59.
Same thing, 1 degree of success. It's kind of dark in here. And Jake is big. He's wearing football pads and this like horse plume. You can see that he's over there doing something. You also can hear the kid is but you can't hear what, or you can't see what he's after.
I'm going to light the tail of one of my arrows on fire and just shoot it in that direction. Since there's no gasoline, it shouldn't like immediately catch everything, but hopefully it'll put like a little torch stuck in the wall over there for some light.
And when your arrow goes streaking past, it lights everything up for a second, and you see Jake wheels around and goes pow, 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 pow. And you see this thing up on the top of one of the stacks go because he also got 5 degrees of success. And your arrow flies into the corner, and you see something over there that you couldn't see before. The whole edge of the library is covered in some sort of webbing.
Is there anything? Do I see Bean at all yet?
Well, Nathan went after Bean. Jake had gone down the stacks, and Nathan went towards Bean. Speaking of, what are you going to do with that? That is a significant number of successes.
So
Nathan.
these are the triggered effects. Is that what you're? So there's the stun, the bash, and the knock prone. Those are all possibilities.
Those are all things you can do. And also, you can always just cash in successes just for damage. Like, you always have that option. It's just some weapons, if you get enough successes, you can do different things with them.
I mean, can I do a combination of these things?
You absolutely can. Yeah. If you
I
have,
got
if
eight,
you,
right?
yeah. Well, yeah, 5. The max is 5 no matter what.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm gonna stun him. So I think that's 1. I'm seeing 1 green plus. So I'm gonna bash him with the shield. Let me know if I can do this all on this one movement.
Yep.
So like he comes at me, jumping in the air, and I bash him, and and it knocks him up, and I take my bat and I just clobber him right straight down into the ground, and I want to bash and stun, and then use the rest for extra damage.
For damage. All right. So you are going to roll 4 total damage dice. You're going to roll 1 because the weapon does 1. It's already deadly. You're going to roll 1 because the bash does 1, and then you have 2 left over that well, actually, I take that back. Remember, you have a number of successes here. So you can spend it all on damage if you want to make sure this is dead, or you still have 2 more successes left to do something else with. If you're like, I want to grab Bean, I want to check for more, I want to see if my brother's all right. You have 2 more successes to spend.
Okay. So right now, without those 2 successes, I have 4 damage die.
Right now you have 2 damage dice, and it is knocked down. So if you like, you can actually roll your damage now. You can roll these 2 6s, and we'll see how much damage you do, and then we'll see how you want to spend the rest of them.
All right.
Remember, if you get a 6, you re-roll.
I got 1 6.
So that counts as 5, and you're gonna re-roll it and still add it to it.
Okay, so 7. So I got 10 total.
10.
Let's do that.
Yeah. Squished it, and you still have 2 degrees of success to spend.
Great. So he's out. So I'm gonna run to Bean, and she's just on the table, right?
They basically had just put her down. These things were hanging on the bottom of the table, which I did roll for their stealth versus your perception to just crawl and get on the bottom of the table. And essentially, when they got there, they let go and broke loose.
So there's more in the room?
No, 1 went out the window. Got you just squished, and 1 your brother shot.
I am gonna pick her up, and I'm gonna take. If I can carry her and my bat and the shield, I'll put the shield and the bat in one hand, and I'm gonna try to just kind of carry her over my shoulder.
It's
until
slow
I get
going.
someone helping me.
And I'm gonna give you another roll at this, Bean, to see if you come to. For your we established that your composure is the higher roll, right?
Yeah, I need to burn these goddamn dice. Let's see. That is that's a 38 out of 60, so that's 2 degrees of damage.
2 degrees?
2 degrees of success.
Bean, you feel him sort of picking you up, and then that's when the pain hits. And you look down, and your arm is fucking gone, Bean.
Is it from the top of the elbow down?
They did say above. They did say above the elbow.
Okay.
Yep. They did say they tourniqueted as above the elbow.
Why is this happening to me? I told you not to put stuff in the basement. Oh my god. Now I'm just on someone's shoulder like a sack of potatoes.
Is she mumbling?
A little bit. Just a little out of it still. A little bit of the morphine.
Got it.
Madison and Pharaoh. You see the webbing is very shiny and slick and looks like it's not made out of silk. And you see Jake is like, no. Fuck that. We're burning down the library. Get out of here.
I think that's a very good idea. And
you see these things come pouring out of the webs.
Holy shit.
Yes, Madison.
Blocking off the exit? Pouring?
No. They're at the other end of the floor. But yes, Madison.
I would like to pull out the one little tiny, because I had maybe 2 or 3, and I blew up one of them already. So I think I still have one of those little tiny mini water bottles of gasoline shoved in my coat pocket. And I'm going to do the same thing again, because as soon as the other kid says, blow this shit up, she's going to do it. As we're running towards the exit, I'm going to throw it in. And at the last second, I'm going to try and shoot it and set everything on fire.
All right. You yeet it back inside, and you can roll it to see if you do it. You're carrying out Bean as you're getting downstairs, and you hear these things.
Ooh.
I'm gonna cover everybody with my
Okay.
pistol.
Okay.
Where is Jake? Within
He is
earshot.
yeah, oh yeah, he's like go 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 go. I mean, he's trying to go with you.
I put
Yeah.
the shield because I'm
Mhm.
this is tough. I put the shield on the ground and I put Bean on top of it and I yelled at Jake, "Help me carry her out!"
He
Using the
just
shield as the
yeah, very much is like nothing, you know. And you guys are running out with her. I see that look of success, Madison. How many successes?
I rolled an 8 out of 69.
Madison, it's like it's slow motion where you're like,
Enya plays in the background. Who
Mhm.
can say?
Yeah. You're like, hold your breath, inhale between the beats of your heart, just like your mom taught you how to shoot. And right when you get outside, you see Hetrick is running up to you and he's holding something. And when it gets close, you can see it's very something like electronic. And he's like, I brought the bomb, but Jesus fuck, Barbie.
Yeah, that's a high tech way to do it. Again, I like that. I like that. I like that. And I just keep walking and I
Madison's
try to
really
go.
good at setting things on fire.
You start to hear and these things are jumping out of the windows on fire and starting to land on the ground outside. And you hear Jake goes, firing line, and he looks at you and he goes, Nate, get your people the fuck out of here, go. And you see the ambulance is in the cul-de-sac. Go. This is fucked.
we go. I'm coming back for you. Kill them.
He's like, we will still be here. Firing line. And you see more of these linebacker type dudes are like running over. And you can see that they've got like rifles in their hand and things like that. And you can hear the odd like pop, 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 pop. And you see he reaches back and he's got a 9 in one hand and like a revolver in the other. It's like click, pow, click, pow. He's like, go.
I'm running.
Nope. Is you all get to the edge of the ambulance. When you get there, you see Vine is behind the wheel, and she looks very like washed out and pale, and she's like, "Oh, she's good. She's okay." And she like hops out of the ambulance, and she's like, "We'll see you when you get back. We'll see you when you get back." And she turns like still like she's very much in a daze and starts walking in the direction of the library. As you see, everybody that is armed is kind of going that way.
Holy crap.
That girl's in shock.
I load Bean onto the van.
Yes, Bean, you were saying something?
Can I don't know how conscious I am. I can talk. I can talk, I guess.
Yeah, you can talk. I mean, you're awake. I mean, you're loopy, but you're awake.
Hey, you. Hey.
Number one, canned spinach. Canned spinach. I kind of forgot about that way early on. Number two, should we take that girl with us?
I think her place is here.
I think that's kidnapping.
Bean.
Oh, okay, cool. I mean, they kidnapped my arm. I thought you could use some more arms. Cool. You guys did a good job. Thank you. Didn't do a good job on my arm, but don't put your hand in closets. And I just kind of lay back down.
I'm gonna grab, if I can, one of the like most garbage snacks we have, whether it be like Fritos or like some kind of like chocolate something, and like as Bean's like in there incoherently, I'm just gonna kind of like wave it in front of her face a little bit and get just if I can get
with my good arm, I say, "That's mine." And I snatch it out of her hands.
And I look back up at the others. Oh, I think she'll be all right. She'll be all right.
Wow.
You all load Bean into the back of the van, up on the gurney, as they presumably, you strap her down. You see as people are like rushing over, as the library is starting to go up into flames, and you punch it. You see these school buses at the edge. When you start heading that way, they kind of go in reverse. like beep, 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 giving you enough room to get out. Like,
Got it.
The other thing I would like to do is crawl up onto the roof and take a look at the apparatus that has been placed on the top of it and see what it looks like.
It was the thing that Hat Trick had when he walked up to the library. He did. You got a good look at it on your way out after you set the library on fire. It was a bomb. He wasn't lying.
But it's no longer on the top of our
Yeah,
vehicle.
it's been removed. Yeah.
Wait, that was
Yeah.
real?
Oh yeah.
It was real.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
I
Pharaoh.
was
Yeah,
totally.
yeah.
I
I think he wanted to use that to blow up the library, but then we didn't need to because Madison already blew it up.
Wow,
driving back.
I'm glad I didn't call him on that then. That's my bad.
How's
So,
Bean doing back there?
Here's your challenge. Bean was your navigator.
Ah.
So who's gonna do that for you now?
Well, I guess Nathan's driving because he's our pilot.
Mm-hmm.
Unless somebody else wants to drive, in which case I can navigate.
No, you've got the highest pilot out of us. I'll take a chance on navigation.
Are we
I
going?
mean, both Madison and
Feliz.
Pharaoh. Yeah, both Madison and Pharaoh are welcome to try and roll.
Yeah.
To see
Where
if
are
you can
we
figure out the
going?
map.
We're still heading to the west. We still have to get that yacht, right? And then plus rich people have like private doctors and everything. I mean, that's a real possibility. Okay.
Madison just rolled a 93. She doesn't know what planet we're on right now.
I rolled a 31 and my navigation is 52.
Madison, you're like, why would those kids have swapped the maps? That's a fucked up thing to do. Like, this is Colorado. Like, there's like none of this is even like what the
100%.
Yeah. Where is it? You feel like you could figure it out, Pharaoh. You're kind of like, no, go left here, and then there's an on ramp, and sure enough, there is an on ramp onto the.
Yeah, it's like I did an audition here before. I remember that the tacos were good over there. Yeah, I think there's a highway entrance around here soon. Oh my god, I dated someone right there. You know what? She made amazing crepes. It was great.
First of all, just at me next time because that's kind of how I navigate Los Angeles. Is yeah,
Right?
that is actually how I get around. It's true. And you turn and get on the freeway and punch it as you're driving, seeing thick black plumes of smoke coming up in the rear view mirror from the burning of the library as you guys floor it, driving on towards your destination, which I'm sure will be silky smooth and uneventful next week for our finale. And I realize we're a little early, but that is a good place for us to stop. I legit rolled enough for you to die, Bean.
I know. I was scared. So do my stats change in one arm now? Like, what does that work?
This is the kind of game that there's stats for that, so I will let you know.
All right, we'll work on this week.
You know what it is? The poison in and of itself is not so terrible, but I critted on you. And because I critted, it was enough for you to die. And
crap.
It's that simple.
I was pulled from death. Thank you, everybody, for doing your best and convincing V Dave that he should let you have a chance at it.
It's true.
Hey, that was Lewis using those competency points.
I only used one.
Oh, and Bean.
Bean used theirs.
You saved yourself.
I also used mine. I used both of mine to save Bean.
That's
too.
right.
Yep, Madison and Bean pulled it all in. That will to live. You're like, don't you die on me. Don't you die on me.
I believe
full airplane.
How did we? Oh yeah! Wow, what a crazy! I'm gonna have
my
crazy dreams tonight because of this.
You're welcome, internet. That being said, I know it is late everywhere, so I will give you all a couple of minutes back. But before we do, tell everybody who you are and where they can find you. And I'll run it back in reverse this time, starting down there with May.
Hello there. I am Melee Damage. You can find me on all the socials at whatever they are / Melee Damage. I run games on Patreon as well. So if you ever want someone to like DM a game for you, hit me up. Find me on there. I am also on a wonderful show with B Dave called A Darkened Wish on Thursdays. And I am on another show called Rage Across New York, also with B Dave DMing. Check that out. That's fantastic. And I have new music coming out soon. To those of you who actually know me more for music than gaming, which nowadays is very odd. But yes, new music coming out soon. Check my socials, and that should be released in like the next day or so. So if you want to hear really, really cool new songs about things, I got you.
I say words about things. You sing songs about things.
Yep, I'm good at it.
True. You are. I've heard these songs. They are good things. Luis.
Hey, what am I doing again? Luis Carrazzo. That's me, and I am on all the social media stuff too with just my name, LuisCaraz as in zebra. Oh, you'll find me. Apparently, it's not a very common name. I have a short film. I pitched it last week, or I have a short film that's premiering at Outfest. That's August 21st, I think, through the 24th. It's all going to be done virtually. It's a really, there's stuff that I'm definitely proud of in this. So if you guys want to check it out, that'd be really cool. And that's all I have going on right now. There's something else. I'll be back on a TV show that I was on last season.
Hey,
later on this season.
I know the show you're talking about. Hey, also that is a very manly quarantine beard you got going there. By the way, just for the record.
Yeah, it's just like it takes like hours for it to grow.
Michelle.
Hello, I'm not dead, so I will still join you next week. My name is Michelle Wynn Bradley. You can find me everywhere on the internet at I Am Chubby Bunny. I have a show called Got Manga with Viz Media. It is a semi-weekly, bi-weekly, I don't know, show about deep dives into manga that you may not know about or love, like Junji Ito's Uzumaki, and it's very spooky. But anyway, that's always pins up on my Twitter, or you can find it on my YouTube. And I also do a show over at Total Nerd. It's called Button Mash, and it's deep dive into video games. And I'll also start doing Let's Plays very soon. So check all that out on my, I don't know, just find it on Twitter or whatever. I'll link it there.
Hey, and congratulations on living, by the way.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah. And last but certainly not least, Markia.
Yes, I'm Markia McCarty. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Markia McCarty. And yeah, I have a presence on Facebook. Oh, sorry. Tonight's game was so intense. I stress eat and I will finish all the rest of my survivor food that I have over here, which is protein bars, sardines, and saltine crackers.
Sounds bomb.
Yeah, well, I try to method live streaming. I have an animated horror podcast that I do. It's called Something Scary. If you go to youtube.com/snarled, every Tuesday we have an animated horror video that goes up, and then I narrate 3 to 4 more stories for podcasts, and that is wherever you find podcasts. If you love this zombie survival horrorness, I feel like you will definitely love the content that we put out. So like, please go ahead and check that out. And yeah, just like be safe and be well and be sane with everything. I've thoroughly enjoyed tonight, but Bean was one of my favorite characters, is still one of my favorite characters. So they are still alive. We are all still alive.
And also every Saturday, join us right now on twitch.tv/Hunters Entertainment for our very own Markia McCarty, hosts some of the creative minds behind games in our weekly roundtable, Hunters Gathering, at 6 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time every Saturday, right? Yeah. And yes, although next week will be the end of this particular section of our adventure, every Tuesday at either 8 or 8:30, some great DM is going to be telling a story for some great cast of characters, which I will not spoil. Maybe I'll get to announce something for you next week. Maybe not. Maybe I don't even knows. Um, but hey, thank you to the mods. Thank you to the team. Thank you for everybody watching. Also, having the poison spider webs made out of human flesh was Chat's idea. So thank you. You made it worse. You objectively made it worse. And believe it or not, I'm going to go run another game because I'm a crazy person and I don't know the meaning of sleep. So thank you all for tuning in, and we will see you next week. Hey, and you're still alive for now.